Grazy? Grazy and crazy? That doesn't work. Crazy people. Crazy people. Bunch of crazy people made arson. And now my home's in trouble. Crazy, stupid people. Who have nothing better to do but then start fires. Stupid, crazy people.
You think you can hunt us? How cute. Cold steel under moonlight, fangs cut the snow. We run as the pack where the brave never go. You come with your ego, your guns and your lies, but the wild sees through you. Tonight someone dies. Eyes glowing brighter, we circle your fate. One stupid move and it's already too late. Don't mess with the walls. Havoc is coming, ripping through your soul. Claws of the savage, jaws breaking control. Howl through the static, the wild takes it all. Havoc is coming. Don't mess with the wolves. You play at the predator, king of the hunt, but we are the nightmare your nightmares confront. Alpha blood rising, the engine ignites. Your fragile humanity ends here tonight. No mercy for hunters who challenge the pack. We feast on the arrogant, we never look back. Don't mess with the wolves. Havoc is coming, ripping through your soul. Claws of the savage, jaws breaking control. Howl through the static, the wild takes it all. Havoc is coming. Don't mess with the wolves. Run, little hunter. The machine of the pack has you locked in its teeth. Bones crush like metal, untied, decade allows. Don't mess with the wolves. Havoc is coming, devouring your soul. We are the storm in mechanical food. Scream all you want. The wild conquers all. Havoc is coming. Don't you fucking mess with the wolves. We warned you.
So make sure they leave you a little bit with scrap.
Yeah, if Trump was in the hospital, I'm going to tell you right now, it'd be all over the news. Like, there would be politicians out there yelling and screaming and happiness, and dictators everywhere being like, look at what we did, we killed him, or whatever's going on. So, yeah, I didn't see anything about him being in the hospital. No credible sources. So I woke up today, and outside looks like absolute hell. Oh, look, it's bigger. Sure the hell wasn't that big yesterday.
Cessna 21150, Medford Tower, hold short runway 32 at Alpha 1, awaiting IFR release.
Hold short at 32, Alpha 1,
It's fine. Only half the country's on fire. It's fine. It's all right. Everything's good. Everything's good. Everything's all right. There's not a big ass fire next to me. The sky literally isn't covered in ash and clouds from the fire. Everything's okay. I feel like if I keep telling myself that, everything will be all right. Right now, it is 15 miles away from me, and hopefully won't be closing. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed indeed. I should try to put water on it. I don't really have the means to transport a large amount of liquid anywhere, let alone to a fire. I mean, I guess I could attach a water trailer to the back of my truck. Yeah, 15 miles is not very happy for me now. It's that is why the image today was very, very specific. Yeah, I'm not saying I'm going to burn up anytime soon, but I'm just saying it's making my butt clench a little bit of it being that close. And Washington, Oregon and Washington, both of them are not looking very good. All smoky and worrisome. Oh man, that is all super tiny of a file. That's why this was our thumbnail today. I guess I could put that here. Me barring the doors of the ship as everything goes tits up. So currently around the Pacific Northwest here, well, it's not fishy at all. It's arson. It's. I wish I could say that wasn't it.
22, turn left at the end. Alpha to the ramp, remain this frequency.
Yeah, so I really wish I was gonna be like, it's all hunky dory and it's just nature. It's not what it is though. It's arson. It ain't no directed energy weapon. I'm gonna tell you right now. It is an absolute jackass with a lighter. You don't need anything special.
Runway 32, cleared for takeoff. Jackson 1 departure. Wind calm.
You don't need anything special whatsoever. All you need is some prick with a lighter, or a flare gun, or a torch, or a magnifying glass, or, I don't know, two people rubbing their dicks together till a fire starts. Like, literally, like, it's easy. Easy stuff. And they caught one guy who was out there with a lighter hunched over, lighting shit on fire, or matches. I've heard both. And then another guy had a flamethrower. Yeah, or somebody lighting a crack pipe.
Runway 32, clear to land.
Clear to land on 32607 feet.
My system is super loud in my ears right now. I gotta turn that down. I was jamming out to the opening theme, and could be BLM, could be Antifa, could be a guy from Iran. I mean, look, this was him. Literally a guy with a golf cart and a torch lighting some dude's garage on fire. Him and his brother were doing it.
Grumman 73 Lima, long landing on 32 is approved if you want.
Then tried to run over the homeowner.
73 Lima.
I think we're going to find climate activists who are going to come out and be like, we're trying to block out the sun. That way we can save Mother Earth. Or something other nutsy and bizarre. I agree. Crazy stuff, man. Just crazy, unnecessary stuff. Like that? I'm sorry. You do that to my house, I'm shooting you in the face. I am more than willing to take your life for that. Aloha. I mean, I remember people going to prison for arson. I believe they gave people, long sentences for arson. Yeah. Farmer Dickhead over here who decided to do that. Now, that was from the other day. Oh, my God. Hold on. So as I'm scrolling through stuff looking for things, did KLW News go off the deep end and now his autistic ass is just staring at trains? Please tell me I made some sort of thing in his life where he's literally snapped and now staring at trains.
Medic 2, priority 3, sick person, 1031 Canyon Park Drive, Ashland, between Clay Street and the end of the street.
Found 0 smokes on the Beagle Road fire. We are clear and in service to protection area. 231 found 0 smokes on the Beagle Road fire. Show you clear in service protection area 1225.
Yeah, again, I feel like if you started a fire this big, and again, number 2 is the Fire Watch. The scan we're listening to is over there at Medford. Oh, no. I feel it's going to be many people we're going to find out. I think we're going to find out there's a bunch of nutcases that were out there being like, listen, guys, we got to save the world. It's like what was it? Some scientist out there is like, hey, I think we should try to propel the Earth into an opposite direction just so it doesn't get eaten by Jupiter in like a billion years. Listen, I don't want us to screw with the Earth right now. Why don't you wait for the next, million years for somebody smarter who can come up with a better idea so that doesn't happen. So you don't accidentally knock all of our stupid ass into a new ice age.
To Charlie 24.
Well, that happened before. This is not the first time. There was another guy who was lighting fires in California, and when they stopped him, he's like, I'm trying to stop global warming.
1031.
I'm out here trying to stop global warming. Oh, by the way, I think it's also really funny that because YouTube cracked heavily down on anyone being botted, that some of the streams that used to have like 3,000 or 4,000 people watching, which were these weather streams, are now down to like 200 people. Just throwing it out there. Just thought that was funny. Again, KLW made them freaking snap. Now he's just staring at trains. Just throwing that one out there one more time. I mean, the Earth is going to do what the Earth is going to do, right? And
Skywest 3878, Medford, ground runway 32, taxi Alpha.
there's only so much we can do, right?
Our engine, and it seems like that's all we had for about 2 square blocks of houses that were on fire. And if they weren't on fire, they're going to be any minute, and we just had to keep moving ahead. City of Spokane's a really aggressive fire department. We aren't used to seeing houses burn without doing anything.
Let it blow.
Like this,
Let it blow.
We had to get ahead of it, stop it.
Oh shit, there it go.
A Spokane firefighter recalling what it was like behind the fire line during the day the fires broke out, making difficult choices when it comes to saving homes during a fast-moving fire. Here's a look at evacuation levels right now. No changes since yesterday, and a reminder that Spokane County Sheriff John Knowles has said plan for these to be in place for a while, because those conditions within level 3 areas, those are still quite hazardous. So here's an update on the totals for containment. According to Incident Command, fire crews making significant progress. The Autumn Lane fire now 37% contained. Old Trails fire is up slightly. That's at 23% containment right now. And the Fairview fire is at 31% containment. Fire officials say they estimated these 3 fires have burned more than 10,000 acres combined, and about 921 structures have been damaged or lost, but that number could actually go up as well.
Yeah.
Firefighters in eastern Washington bracing for another long weekend of searing temperatures and high winds that could quite literally add additional fuel to already raging wildfires. On Thursday, prosecutors charged 37-year-old Aaron Farinacci with 4 new counts of first-degree arson.
You believe you have the sole person responsible in custody?
Yes, we do.
According to court documents, a Spokane County detective...
Let's pump the brakes there, just so nobody gets confused. They have the sole person responsible for that fire, right? You can't say he went out and made all the other fires. That would be ridiculous to say, right? I don't know if that would even be admissible in court. But just so the news doesn't do what the news does and pull out facts out of their ass, sole person of this fire. Let's just caveat that a little bit while we listen to the rest of this.
Detective says Farinacci confessed to starting the devastating Old Trails fire over the weekend, saying he began planning the fire approximately 2 weeks before August 1st, using a weather app to predict a day that would have high winds, low humidity. According to the police affidavit, Farinacci claims he ignited 25 fires near his home between July and August of last year. He was questioned by police multiple times, but never arrested.
Thank you, buddy.
Why were charges not filed against him last year?
It is not so easy.
You know, Colton, I don't need to hear this. It can only go east so much before it starts going south.
To prove in court beyond a reasonable doubt when all you have is
oh no way, I'm thinking west. Never mind.
Officials
We're good.
Spokane
I take that back.
Fires have now burned
I got mixed up. Had a little dyslexic
and
moment.
Destroyed more than 900 homes and buildings. Dozens of additional wildfires are also burning across the West, including a fire in California, where one body's been found in a burned home. 65-year-old Herbert Wayne Smith has been arrested and accused of recklessly causing that blaze.
Yeah, I got that
Smith
now.
telling
I got
NBC
that now.
affiliate KCRA he unintentionally ignited the fire while cutting scrap metal.
If I could go back in time and change it, I would. But I can't go back in time. I'm sorry to everybody out there.
Sorry, even though it was an accident, you're still getting the firing squad.
In Spokane, with fire risk at extreme levels, the sheriff warning any activity that might cause a spark could be disastrous.
Right now, with conditions that.
And also, here's the other thing. I've cut metal most of my life, right? I've shot showers of sparks all over the goddamn place, and I've never lit a freaking field on fire or anything. All right, I'm not an idiot. Oh, it could happen to anybody. No, if you make precautions, it don't happen.
As they are, and they're deteriorating for the next 3 days, there is a 100% chance that a spark will ignite a fire right now.
Yeah, certainly concerning. And I also asked the sheriff about the tens of thousands of people still unable to go back home.
Herpaderpadoo! Everything's dry. Time to cut some shit. Oh, there's a fire. What was he doing? Aiming the sparks into the freaking open field? Like, come on, man. He was not drinking at all. Yeah, he wasn't making some shine out there and then decided, I got me an idea here with some tannerite. Spank, was that you? You didn't have to lie to me. That was you, wasn't it? That's really who you are. Not going to surprise me. Spank, that's who. He's the one that did it. Okay. Crap. Did I not tell my Discord? You know, I don't think I've told my Discord I was live for the last couple shows. Oops. My bad. Hold on, I gotta go fix something. Give me 2 seconds. Here, watch this while I do this.
Under those mandatory evacuation orders, he says he completely understands their frustration, but the concern of a reignition is so incredibly high. He's asking for their understanding as conditions, again, only deteriorate in the days ahead here. Craig.
All right. Morgan Chesky for us again. Morgan, thank you. Hey.
He wasn't cutting with his sharp wit. Oh man, did 2 of those go off? 2 of those went off. How the hell did 2 of those go off? That was weird. Do that again. Hold on. All right, that's better. That guy looks awfully happy for the fires. There we go. Yeah, he wasn't really being a bright guy. He's being a dum-dum. Just some big moron. What are you guys going to do to cut your stuff? Well, I got to go get my scrapping business here going. I just went and stole all the copper out of a couple buildings. Oops. Again, not that hard not to light shit on fire. It's really not, right? Maybe he was being lazy. He was, I'm not going to drag whatever the hell this is where it needs to belong so I can cut it. And then he's like, I'm sorry. I really am. If I could go back and do it. Maybe he would have thought first. I don't know. So none of these fires, by the way, have been non-man-made. I think all of them have been man-made in some way. Somebody said a lawnmower struck a rock at one of them. I don't know about that one. Somebody else said that it was a train track hit a rock and sparked it off. And I was like, oh, that is a very, very unlikely scenario, right? I needed me to get my shine. But we did have a guy with a flamethrower light shit on fire. We did have a guy up north lighting shit on fire. Allegedly, there's a guy out here they caught trying to light shit on fire. You know who the people you're to find who are the most pyromaniacs is? Does anyone want to take a guess what profession they have is? And would anyone like to have a gander at what profession that they have is? Yeah, it's firefighters. Firefighters are the most likely people to be a pyromaniac or commit arson. 2 reasons. One, I think they find Scottish protest. Okay, I think this one. Yeah, this one. All right, this is Scotland. There we go. Got it up. Sweet. I just put Scottish. Gonna be in the background while I bitch and moan. Hold on. Bootlegger, you're saying what? I lived by there. He served time in a fire camp. He was busted for the same thing before. He's on probation for drugs and his wife has a similar past charges? Oh. Yeah, climate change using matches. I heard the good old Liberation Irish Army is starting to get more frisky again. You know what the Irish Liberation Army was really favorite, or their biggest favorite item to use was? What they were known for? Explosives. Yeah, that's right. And one of their calling cards was that it was full of bottle caps. I don't know if that's really true or just that's just the thing that they make fun of us Irish people for. But I'm going to tell you, a bottle cap being hurled by an explosive probably be pretty freaking devastating.
You must be feeling like a big man tonight with your face uncovered.
So I'm just saying, I'm not going to be surprised if the Irish go a little bit, kaboomy, if you will. NORAD, it said its F-16 fighter jets intercepted aircraft near Trump's Bedminster Golf Club in New Jersey after the plane reportedly violated temporary flight restrictions in the area. Not a huge story, but... I prefer the Home Depot special. But just in case I have to evacuate, I have all my stuff packed. Just in case. We got the thing for the cat. But we should be A-okay. As long as the fire goes and pisses off the other direction, I'm good. Though it did move this way quite a bit. But I am good to go. I do wish I had a trailer. I kind of was realizing, like a little teardrop trailer. Because I could have just loaded that son of a bitch in too. But with the truck bed, I can get quite a lot of stuff in there. $15 miles or more. Colton knew what it was before. Too goddamn close. That's how close it is. Too close. Under 15, Colton says. I guess Perez Hilton, that guy that tried to gouge out his own eyes and kill himself, is in serious condition but alive.
They wouldn't hold their own country's flags now, because that's racist, isn't it? Yeah.
Apparently there's some goth woman that Drake wound up with. I think that's what people are saying. But they're showing pictures of what she looked like before. And the woman was, it's got more plastic in her than my PC. And body modifications. Like, Jesus Christ, lady. Probably spent a fortune. No, the cat's definitely going with us. I'd probably remember the cat before you. Just kidding, that's not true. I make her get the cat while I'm grabbing the guns. Because if nothing else, I'm grabbing my 9mm, 2 ammo cases of 5.56 and 9, and my AR. And if there's time, then I'll start with the 30-06s, and then the shotgun. Then whatever else pistols I could fit in my pants as I come running out. Actually, in all seriousness, I could probably get all the pistols at once. I'm also trying to talk my my in-laws, because my in-laws, instead of going like to a big trip, they decided for both their boys who are in their 20s, they're going to get them handgun classes, and then each get them a pistol, which I think is pretty cool of them. So I also offered them that 40XD for like $200. Hey, Graham Wolf's place for a yard sale. I do have a printer I'm trying to get rid of right now, too. But I think that 40XD would be a good first-time pistol. The other one I also said to him was to take a look at the PSA Dagger.
Like, the unions spend a lot of money on flags.
Oh yeah, yeah, Mama Pellos, definitely. That is 100% up there. Remember, guys, if anyone asks, my PC is 10 grand, and in the gun safe I had a Mongoose, two of them. I forget what mine is, Colton. It's not that expensive. It's rolled into my mortgage. Yeah, that 60 grand PC.
No. If you wanted a pistachio.
No, thank you.
No, Colton, if the fire hits, it's 60K. Good thing I have those 3 scars and, you know, that Barrett sitting over. Use ChatGPT to make it look like it's in the video. Look, it's right there, I promise. It's right there. No, I'm not committing fraud. What are you talking about? Why are you going to get rid of the Nazi blood off of it? Don't you know that adds a +2? Tons of arson. I think it's, again, climate change wackos. Like going out there and lighting fires. Yeah, that's what I said. Don't take the blood off of it. Did I tell you Marksman has a patch from a Russian that was on fire? He didn't tell me why it was on fire, but it's got some Russian dude's blood all over it. I know why it's got Russian dude's blood all over it. He shot him, but it's not here nor there. Tricky, send me a picture of it. I want to check it out. Oh yeah, all the 4 mil, it's underneath the floorboards, Flathead, that's right. You know, I'll swear, I'll tell you right now, if someone happened to my house and they give me 4 million for some reason, I would be like, all right, chat, we're having a day, we're going to do a giveaway. Should we do 4 small giveaways or 1 big one? Fell asleep smoking. That's not good. That's very bad. It's like those people that fell asleep with the candles and light the whole house on fire.
Just thinking, you know what? If it burns down, at least they know why it burnt down. They're going to understand that.
Well, just incredible. Randy plans to meet with them on Sunday. And as for that beer,
give away a
Jim
golden
says
gun.
he wants a Coors Light
If I got like $4 million and Trappers, I think Trappers can gold plate.
That's what I wanted to bring. I mean, we wanted to get this connection. And literally, I got an email hours after the story ran.
I appreciate them and willing to talk.
I'm checking my fire app. Give me 1 second here.
Had tactical training.
Well, it's bigger again, Colton. I just looked at it. It is moving south or east.
And selflessness stand out.
Moving east by quite a bit.
To the top. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thanks, Morgan.
Thank you for all their hard work.
Yeah, I appreciate all of them. Well, an emergency order coming from the state insurance commissioner today. Commissioner Patty Curtis.
We're out of money.
Focusing on making access easier and more efficient for survivors of the wildfires. The order directing insurers to allow enrollees to get a one-time refill of covered prescriptions before waiting periods between refills expire. Insurers are also being asked to allow a grace period of at least 60 days for health plan payments and to not cancel health plans for non-payment of premiums.
I think actually I can claim I'm affected by the smoke, the fire. I mean, there's ash all over my truck, so.
Fires. They're currently working on repairing damaged poles, wires, and other equipment. Vista also says they are working natural.
Not to be too much of a slippery duck, but
there's currently no
my lungs do hurt.
When these repairs, though, will be complete.
SWX Local Sports.
All right, you're going to sports. I don't care. Don't care. But yeah, a lot of the stuff has been arson, and then what was it? Who the hell was it? The guy from Washington? I forgot what he said. He's like, "This is because of climate change." They're like, "It's because of arson, you jackass." That's what it was. Spank, did you start the fires?
Thanks for everybody being in the live. All the gifts, shares, likes, comments. So all appreciated. And I shall see you again.
Yeah, so I guess the thing is, Drake started barking for this chick, and he gifted her a house. But when you see pictures of her prior, she, just looks like a regular person. But apparently he wanted an OnlyFans hooker for, I don't know. All I know is his stupid ass is directing Neuromancer, and I'm deeply pissed about that. Because you could have gotten literally so many different people to direct Neuromancer. You guys don't know what Neuromancer is? It's a book. It's a book that was the predecessor of all cyberpunk. It's one of 2 books of it. But instead of getting, somebody who's probably worth half a shit, they got him. So my hopes it's going to be good are rather low. Who the hell is 8-Ball? Believe it or not, I don't really know much about celebrities. Kind of think that's for the best. Your wife's game in her chat? I know that 8-Ball. I don't know what it would admit to though. Well, right. So I think the other thing is
they don't know why he did this, and they're looking for a motive. That remains a mystery tonight.
That's
the story that's affected the Idaho area as
the
well.
shooter.
understand human nature. Why would somebody do this? Look at what they've caused. Look at the disruption, the devastation, the hurt. And I can't figure it out. People like that, you know.
Well, it's because you're not a crazy person, lady.
Well, the number of structures impacted by the Spokane area fires above 1,000 for sure. We know 37-year-old Aaron Farinacci confessed to starting the Old Trails fire specifically. Court documents say he admitted to detectives he'd been planning it for weeks and that he finds fire beautiful. Welcome to Nonstop Local 630, and good to be with you, and thanks for being with us. I'm Sean Elsley. Farinacci is currently in the Spokane County Jail facing a total of 5 first-degree arson charges. 4 of them have to do with other fires he's suspected of starting, many of those last summer. But with regards to the Old Trails fire, only a single arson charge has been levied against him. Many of you at home asking why in a situation with this much damage. Here's Haley Gunther to explain in tonight's 360 at 6:30.
Yeah, Spokane County prosecutor.
This Chad has food? I don't know. I'm hungry now.
On this specific case, what he can do is try to give the community some insight and some background to try to help us all better understand where we are now. I know you can't talk about this specific case, but I do think there are questions out there in general that if somebody is accused and charged with an arson and the damage really is extensive, is it still just one count if there are multiple homes or businesses damaged?
So this is a question we get a lot, and not just for arson. There are certain crimes under our state law that we have what is called a single unit of prosecution. And to a lot of, the average person, it makes no sense. But what that means is for arson, the crime is the lighting of the fire, right, in a knowing and malicious manner. And so the lighting of the fire, regardless of the consequences of it, is subject to a single unit of prosecution. And that's not something that I can alter. That's
Spank, do you have a PP?
So the way the legislature designed this charge, it's that single unit of prosecution. There's a variety of different cases on this. We have a Supreme Court case that says essentially that, right, that you can have multiple homes, vehicles burnt, multiple impacted victims.
Like throwing a cig out and the cherry lighting something would make more sense, but
circumstances can come in if an offender is ultimately convicted. Even
some of these people are like fully out there doing it.
Up the sentence. Again, the prosecutor would not talk about Farinacci, but we do know from court records for his alleged offense, the aggravated circumstances for the Old Trails fire come from the multiple victims involved and the destructive and foreseeable impact on so many. Aggravating circumstances, that really is critical when it comes to sentencing should a particular offender be found guilty.
If a court or a jury finds an aggravating circumstance to be present in a case, it permits a court to consider a sentence outside of that standard range.
That process will continue to play out in a courtroom for what could be years. For now, firefighters from all over are still working night and day on these fires. It's an overwhelming job and risk that McCollum
it's a risk. It's horrible for them to have to go do.
Firefighter, we were always most cautious when we were working fire adjacent to a town, a community, because there's so many more things that are present there that you don't have in the wildland setting. You've got gas lines, you have fuel sources that are not typical, out in the woods. You have sheds that have propane tanks and all kinds of other things that are there, and so that makes this type of fire response different.
We're heading into another Saturday that could be very dangerous. What is your message to your community?
Be vigilant. Be vigilant, and not just for yourself, but for one another.
But for those who have already been met with devastation, specifically for the Old Trails fire, county leaders want to hear from you.
We're working with our county partners to create a public-facing webpage in order to have crime victims and those impacted be able to reflect that information back to us so that, one, we could keep them updated. We'd like to create a subscription list. We want to let them know what's going on with the court case, and we want to provide them an opportunity to have their voice heard.
And that specialized website is still in the creation process, but they do hope to have it up and running.
They're trying to make sure they nail them
as early as the beginning of next week. We'll make sure to get you those instructions, how to stay in the know, just as soon as it's all finalized. I'm Haley Gunther, Nonstop Local.
I was on a Woodside division. I had Battalion Chief Pat Walsh, and our engine, and it seems like that's all we had for about 2 square blocks of houses that were on fire. And if they weren't on fire, they're going to be any minute, and we just had to keep moving ahead. City of Spokane's a really aggressive fire department. We aren't used to seeing houses burn without doing anything. Instances like this, we had to get ahead of it, stop it.
Well, a Spokane firefighter recalling what it was like behind the fire line during the day the fires broke out, making difficult choices when it comes to saving homes during a fast-moving fire. Here's a look at evacuation levels right now. No changes since yesterday, and a reminder that Spokane County Sheriff John Knowles has said plan for these to be in place for a while because those conditions within level 3 areas, those are still quite hazardous. So here's an update on the totals for containment. According to Incident Command, fire crews making significant progress. The Autumn Lane fire now 37% contained. Old Trails fire is up slightly. That's at 23% containment right now. And
the one next to me is at 0.
31% containment. Fire officials say they estimated these 3 fires have burned more than 10,000 acres combined, and about 921 structures have been damaged or lost, but that number could actually go up as well.
I don't want to wait. Oh.
Exact jet calling for their clearance. Say again, call sign. Roger, stand by.
Man, why are suppressors so goddamn much money?
Update is brush 25. Do you want that toned out?
Edition of the Pulse here. I'll be with you now for our afternoon coverage and development. First off, for the thousands of families still out of their homes, the big question is when they'll be able to go back. We could get some answers in just a short time. Sheriff John Knowles is expected to give an update at 1:30. Our Belle Lewis is live for us. So, Belle, what are you hearing ahead of this update?
Yeah, Heidi, like you said, we're expecting an update here in the next 30 minutes. And I'm being told by people on the scene here this morning that this is really to signal phase 2 of this fire. A lot of urban mop-ups still to happen. Firefighters still very much heavily present in this area where we're seeing those burn scars, seeing those loss of homes. But for many people who are in neighborhoods where there may not be as much loss or have concerns about getting back into their homes, we could be hearing some answers about how to safely enter your home and getting personal protection equipment so that you can make sure you're not exposed to any toxins ahead of getting back into your home. That's just some of what we're hearing. Hopefully getting some more clarity here from Sheriff Knowles. But as you said, many in the community having those questions, hopefully getting some answers today. Again, we're going to hear from him about 1:30, and I know we'll be carrying it on the Pulse, so we'll have those updates for our viewers then. Heidi.
All right, that'll be some important information. We appreciate you standing by right there, Belle. And for everybody, here's a reminder of the resources available as Spokane continues to recover. Shadle Park Resource Center was supposed to close today, but after seeing how much demand is out there, the city and county are extending these operations through Wednesday, so you still have time to get there. The center will be open from 9 to 6 each day, connecting families with things like housing, clothing assistance, insurance providers, child care, other resources like that. Free emergency drop-in camps for children are also being extended at Shadle Park High School through Wednesday. And the Spokane Public Schools says the camps are open to children ages 4 and older. They run from 11 a.m.
So
to 3
that one,
p.m.
that
each day. And
up there, number one, that's live. I know what the hell's out there burning. That is
Project
dark.
Camp, YMCA of the Inland Northwest, Skyhawks, and the City of Spokane Parks and Recreation.
Hello there again, my friend. Still dealing with a lot of smoke and haze in our area, and that continues here for a couple of days. And although we don't have red flag warnings over the top of us, we still have elevated fire danger in the region. The reason we don't have the warnings right now is that we don't have the gusty winds over the top of the area, and so we're giving our firefighters a little bit of a break there. We stay warm. We don't have much in the way of precipitation approaching the entire region over the next few days. Here's some of the...
All right. It's going to be dry as Satan's asshole. Gotcha. All right. Good to know.
November,
behind you. We're going to commit to this driveway.
We're about 32 minutes away. Where would you like us?
To the fire, 1303.
California.
Copy.
Departure then as filed. Maintain 1000. Expect flight level 350 in 5 minutes. Cascade departure frequency 124.3. Squawk 1675.
Alpha Fox.
Alpha Fox overhead, going to be a fully involved structure with an RV also fully involved.
Oh no.
Spread to wildland, mostly retained to the structure itself.
Roger. Contained to the structure at 1304.
Yeah, I think that's what we're seeing in number 1 is that structure fire.
What you have up there, I don't have great eyes on it yet. Copy, responding. 34 Fox, fight that. Medford 468. Cell box. Yeah, 123. We're going to get on the ground, get a bucket hooked up, get some water dropped on this thing.
Oh, there comes the helicopter. We're hearing about it.
From command.
Oh, that's kind of cool to watch.
Go ahead for engine 22 on Tech 1. Eric, it's going to be the 600 address that you're going to pull up. Tank transfer to engine 23 and assist them with exposure protection. That same address as you? Affirmative. Break engine 23 from command on Tech 1. Medford 1, 10's on scene. Med 468. Scene, I'll be landed, put the bucket on, I'll call you when I get up in the air.
Stand away.
.120 on scene, 1305, break. Believe what I see. What I see on Roxy.
So we're currently listening to the fire going on in number 1.
Go ahead. Let's stand 417 by. Reduce everybody to code 1. Reduce incoming to code 1. Break 417.
417 copies direct. Stand by Agate and 234.
Go ahead.
Down 50% involved. Hose line on it. We've got a travel trailer fully involved. Reports of 3 kids inside. We've got 1 victim with smoke inhalation. And this blue house is threatened, and the next address to the south.
Oh, so they got 3 kids involved in it too. That's not okay.
And the next house down.
I copy you. We got 1 confirmed victim, 3 potentials in the travel trailer. They're going to be salvageable in the travel trailer. Okay, and then I've got engine 22. What additional needs do you have? I've got a water tender and another engine stage on the road. 222 on scene, switching attack 5. 222 on scene, switching attack 5, 1307.
Roxy dispatch, helicopter 625, Charlie Kilo.
Hey, Randy.
23 for structure location on this blue house and the house just to the north.
Souls on board, 4 hours of fuel and ETA of 5 minutes.
Be on the road for now and bring their personnel up to assist you. I'm going to make you Alpha, Levi, and you're working on structure protection.
I'm going to be Alpha, and I'm going to have
I believe it's right there.
Affirmative, engine 22, engine 30, and water tender 22 as well. Central, Leafwood, come in. Go ahead. Upgrade Mercy Code 3, we've got a patient with smoke inhalation and possible 3 fire victims in addition to that. Three possible victims in addition. Affirmative. And an additional Mercy unit, code 1. Copy, and FYI, the helo is on standby also. On stage, and did you copy Mercy 182 was on scene?
To cancel them.
Jason, cancel the type 1, please.
Medford copies, cancel to type 1. Break, 5 Charlie Kilo, Medford.
232 on scene of Leafwood fire, switching to TAC 5. Stage your unit down on the road, Aaron, and bring your personnel up. You're going to be assigned to Alpha, engine 23, assisting with extending a line to the north.
Commit to the driveway.
On scene, switching to TAC 5. On scene, switching to TAC 5, 1310. Medford 319, same traffic. Site 5 Charlie Kilo. What I see, Roxy. 2. You go all the way around. If you were to follow Ironwood all the way around, you'll meet up with Wedgewood. Up south of the fire, about half a mile, I got you inside.
Hey, what's going on, streamer? So it sounds like one of the kids being rushed away for smoke inhalation.
You're 9:30 right now, level quarter mile.
2 other kids involved. Both adults.
I was down south about a mile off my tail. That pond looks like it'll work though. The river's right next to it if we need it. Yeah, right there by the blue pickup, and then I'll run a little bit down to the south end. For about 30 seconds.
Hold the type 1, I will confirm. Break, Leafwood, IC, Medford.
Go ahead, Medford. Focus on structure protection. Give me a moment. Incoming air resources can be canceled. From Alpha, you have the Mercy unit on scene. I can see our victim at 688. There's a red. Copy. Victims at 688.
12.
It's going to be at 688, which I believe is just the driveway to the northwest there. Don't clog that driveway up. Go ahead. 22 copies, 688. Thank you. 7-1 Medford.
Second half.
6-5.
5. I copy. Stand by Gold Hill.
Medford, Leafwood, IC on Roxy. approaching the scene. Are you going to need them at your location, or can I put them to the west working on that?
Can you go down and you two guys
clear that single wide from you and have them working on that?
Darling has just tipped $50. Let's get him enough for a trailer so he can go all over and live like a hobo. I mean, thank you for the coverage.
On the single wide to the northwest. Be working for water tender 25.
Thank you very much for the 50.
With water tender 25.
I'm currently eating some chips. Donate for my hobo expedition.
This water, what you thinking? 25.
26 months of chaos, now we got wildfires, I blame the commies.
We're referring to any of the structures. Until we hear back from Alpha. Alpha, did you copy that last chat request?
Copy. Let's go negative on that so we can have better visibility and clear members out of the hazard zone.
I copy.
One, two, three, 3, 2, 1. 0, 6.
Bad 468, I guess you're loud and clear.
Checking some interplane comms here.
Now, if you're just joining us right now, we're listening to the scanner. It sounds like some kids.
Cancel. Fires continue to the structure. D3 is working on knockdown. No need for helos.
Kids got stuck in the structure fire. One's already been evacuated for smoke inhalation.
Chief 22, Battalion 3.
These fires continue to the structures. D3 is working on the structures. No need for helos. 1315. What I'm showing address is 967 Hyde Park Road. To 51, you're unreadable. We'll be sitting down. On towel box, heavy static.
So if it was kids inside of a travel trailer, who knows? They could have accidentally started a fire. So I'm trying to figure out where that fire is.
625 Charlie Kilo. Hey, we were released off that Dodge Bridge fire going back to the hangar for a hold. Metro copies released from Lakewood en route back to the hangar for a hold at 1317.
But somebody's getting their flight hours in. That's the good news. Hey, Julius.
24 from Command on Tech 1. ETA.
Yes, California is also burning, but
Engine 23 pump from Command.
water's also wet. California burning to me is nothing new.
Water tender 24 is 4 minutes out. I'm going to make you water supply, and you can have TAC 6 if you need a frequency.
Copy that, water supply.
And you'll have water tender 22 and water tender 24 working for you right now.
I'll look for some Cali fire for you.
2 minutes ETA.
468 has been released off of Leapwood en route to Shiloh Hella Base. 1 on board, 2 hours of fuel, 2-minute ETE, and I do have you positive AFF at 1319.
You know, hit that like button if you haven't already done it. Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate it. You're not liking what's happening. You're just liking it. I'm streaming. But apparently, I'm one of the few people who's actually streaming all this. It's a huge event. Like, maybe I'm happy nobody else is, I guess. They can go film the T-First playing with their wieners or whatever they do. I mean, they've got multiple arsonists, so, I mean, it's not... It hasn't been the whoopsie-doo. It's been, oh shit, stuff's on fire. And then people are like, I did it because I like the way the fire dances. Like, well, shit. I could see if you drove it like 25 miles and got that thing really hot, and then you decided that, you know, you thought you had a dirt bike and then went retarded and drove through open brush, that might do it.
468 landing assured Shiloh Hella Base available by portable at 1320.
Just think to yourself, how stupid are humans? And I'll give you the answer about what happened. Oh, the fire next to where I live has been opening up to more evacuation zones. That's great. That's splendid. None of it near me, thankfully. Well, not that close to me anyways, but. Well, you got to think like some of that dry brush though gets up to 4 to 5 feet high. That's more than enough. Not saying that's what did it. I'm just giving speculation what could do it. Could be some Chinese guy out there being like, I hate America with a flare gun, you know.
Command, TAC 1.
Engine 21, go ahead.
Can report.
We're just working on this single wide right now. We got Aaron, my crew, trying to work our way in there and get this thing put out.
Copy. How's water supply looking over there? You guys going to be good with your engine and water tender 25?
Just shy of a half a tank on water tender 25. We got a engine. We'll send them for water as soon as the tender's empty.
Copy. just heads up, probably not getting any help with water from any of the other two tenders. They're going to be tied up in Alpha for a little bit. And then if you can get me sweep confirm we don't have any patients over on that west side, so we can send Mercy on their way, that'd be great.
Copy. Hearing stated the single wide mobile we're working on was confirmed to be vacant. I don't see any other systems over here in our area.
Copy.
Yeah, but I'm not sitting there throwing sparks. For me, it would be like if just the heat of the exhaust. You know, we could test this theory. Anyone got a motorcycle? Rev up the engine, get it, you know, go for a little ride, come home, grab a piece of grass. Don't do it in the grass. Don't make another fire, but, you know, make a controlled study of it. Put a piece of grass next to it, see if it ignites.
19, I see on RedNet.
That doesn't help. You know, the exhaust still might get hot enough.
They have an open mic on TAC 5.
Gotta think if vehicles liquid cool and those exhausts get, you know, stupidly hot. So, I mean, a Harley gets between 900 to 1300 Fahrenheit. And the combustion of dry grass ignition or combustion temperature is about 500 to 600. So, I mean, you're well within the range, according to the science anyways. Now, that is the theory. And if somebody would like to go and try out this theory, report back. And during riding, the pipes in the engine cylinders can peak anywhere from 1,000 to 1,600.
We're out of order again.
No, Garbo, not yet, buddy. Crack shot. Do I look like I'm overseas? Do I look like I do things in Celsius? But as long as we're getting over 600 degrees Fahrenheit, I mean, it will definitely ignite something. I just did a Harley as the example.
24 on scene stage at the road.
Well, let's say you drive like an idiot and you're on your bike, you're on your Harley, and you got to go take a wicked dump. So what you do is you take your bike off the side of the road and then you hit the grass on the side and boom, the fire. Like there's an act of stupidity in here, just like the guy who's cut metal and lit the field on fire. Wind? What do you mean by wind? You mean like a piece of grass blew it next to it and caught it on fire? That could happen too. Yeah, some of the grass out there is like 4 feet high. Like it doesn't look like it, but when you get out there, that shit's pretty high. Like a lot higher than you would think.
To 24, can you switch to TAC 6?
So some of it will get between 18 to 24 inches high. So
Task Force Freiler from
that's 2 feet up.
And when you have time, get in service. Gibbons wanted to ask you a question on group me.
I mean, this is all fringe scenarios, right? Let's say it's a car exhaust. You're driving it on the road. You got one of those crotch rockets that Spanx likes, and, you know, you're bebopping down the road in your little low Honda Civic, right? And then you come off the road, and, I mean, the exhaust is right there, maybe a couple inches off the ground. For the grass can get anywhere between 18 to 24 inches. But I've seen a lot higher than that. I've walked through the shit and it was higher than that. And it stands straight up. And then when it catches, it just goes like wildfire, like across the way. I'm waiting for the guy to start talking over there in number 3. And if you're new here, and you don't know when I say number 3, number 2, whatever. Number 1 is the one that's catty cornered away from me over there. Number 2 is above me, and number 3 is next to me. Number 4 is the one I'm on. But like,
we have water supply established again.
You know, that's another scenario though. Like you drive off the road and you catch something on fire. That's possible. Cigarette. Oh, there we go. Homeboy speaking.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're we're holding this press conference to thankfully and gratefully to announce to members of our public who have been displaced during these evacuations that because our weather event that came in yesterday did not cause the spread of the fire in a way we were very concerned that it was going to, that as of right now, we are reducing the size of our level 3 evacuation zones significantly. The information should be posted right now and being sent out over our Alert Spokane system over the next hour, detailing out the new boundaries of our level 3 evacuation zones, which will be essentially all of the areas directly impacted by the fires inside the fire lines that have been established by our firefighters, who have done a great job of keeping these fires from progressing from where they were earlier in this week. So I would like to have our citizens be on the lookout for those new maps coming out. I have also asked several of our experts to come in and talk to our community directly today about what has been done so far in fighting these fires, and also the hazards that are posed by people entering, or I'm sorry, the hazards that are in the areas that have been directly affected by the fire, and what our citizens need to know about why those areas remain in level 3 evacuation zones. And so I'd like to start off by having Tom Clemo from our incident team 7. He's the incident commander, and he's going to talk a little bit about the firefighting that's occurred so far.
Thank you, Sheriff. Over the last several days, our crews have been directly engaged in a significant amount of mop-up around all 3 fires. Nearly 1,700 personnel working day and night to try to extinguish all the hot spots that are out there. Starting this morning, we engaged in a program to basically mop up all of the structure fire locations. This is an urban mop-up. These are, every one of these residential homes pose a significant threat to the community, not just because of the heat, but because of the materials that were burned in, everyday modern homes.
Did you just notice I was an enemy, dude?
Specialized structure crews that are out there with specialized equipment, positive pressure breathing apparatus, hazmat monitors, all of it to keep our people safe while we extinguish the last bits of heat in the over 800 structures that are out there today. This process will go on for the next 4 days, and it's really important to us that we keep you out of those areas while we do this work. to speak a little bit about some of the hazards that are out there and what had us so concerned and experience we've had on previous fires, I'd like to bring up our safety officer, Jason Dannon, to go through what some of those concerns are.
Hit that like button, folks. Thank you.
Thank you. So the specific hazards that are going to be out there are going to be wide range. So not in our normal wildland type fire, we also have the urban setting. So we're in our neighborhoods. You're back in those residences. So the hazards are starting with those trees, the burned trees. They might not be as structurally sound as they once were with some winds and changes with moisture on the ground. Those have a tendency of coming down. There have been power lines down in those neighborhoods. Power companies, utilities have been out there restoring those, putting those back up. So those things will be out there. So specific to the residents is follow those closure areas and only go to the areas that we're allowing you to go in. Those have been initially cleared, and those ones are safe for you to go back into at this point. When you approach your residence, focus on getting back home. The more distracted you are, paying attention to what's going on around as far as looking at other houses and looking for other damage and destruction, please avoid doing that. Get to your house. Do a quick peek of your house and pay attention to what's going on, of things that might be missed. Specifically, if there's a tree that got missed that's leaning over your roof, or if the roof has a sag to it, something that would cause an issue with your safety. Those utilities were all cut off, meaning several days your residents did not have, some of those residences did not have power. If that's the case, your refrigerator and your freezer might be working again, but that meat that was in there for no electricity, with no electricity for 5 days, is not safe for consumption anymore, so be aware of that. If doors were left open, there might be things inside your house that were not there when you guys left, so pay attention to what those could be. Air quality, just use common sense. If something doesn't smell normal, it probably isn't. And with that, turn your HVAC systems on, clean your cold air return filters, make sure those get changed out, get things wiped down and cleaned up to the best that you can. Your smoke detectors, pay attention to those. They may have been going off for the duration that you've been out of your home, so change those batteries, change them out, clean those. It's a general awareness of what's going on. If something doesn't seem right, it probably is not. And then we have lots of resources for you to ask for help to get assistance with that, and we'll talk about that in a minute.
Thank you. I'd now like to have Fire Chief Mike Busey come up. I'd also like to recognize that we have other chiefs and obviously Police Chief Kevin Hall, who are here, who may not be speaking to us, but I'd like to thank them for being here. A show of support. I would also like to add that this is the team of people, and because we've had a lot of questions from our residents about how our decisions on evacuations are made. This is the team of people that have been coming together every day to make sure that we are doing things that are safe for this community, things that are right for this community. And so with that, Chief Busey.
Thank you, Sheriff. Hi, Mike Busey, Fire Chief, Stevens Fire District 1. A couple things. I want to thank California Team 7 for coming in. Their job is to get calm out of chaos, and they did that. They instilled confidence in us from day one, that Sunday morning when the
I got some news stories after this for you.
And to this day, they still instill confidence in their ability to get this job done and the decision-making process. We've had the utmost discussions with them. They listen to us, and they take our advice, and we take their advice, and we work together to get this resolution out there. I want to thank Washington State Department of Transportation for also listening to us and working with us in keeping the road closed along Highway 291, but also in quickly assessing that road as well to make sure that we could open it in an appropriate time. I want to thank my colleagues, the aforementioned fire chiefs, City of Spokane, Tom Williams, Fire Chief over here, along with Fire District 9 Fire Chief Matt Vincey, Fire Chief Don Malone from Fire District 10, and Fire Chief Mike Noakes from Fire District 4, Spokane. The five of us walked into that room together Sunday morning as one. We stand together as one in the decisions that are being made, even though it's across multiple jurisdictions, even though it's across multiple counties. We are together in this. And I thank them for their work and their advice as we all get through this together. For the citizens, I want to thank you, not only the citizens of Stevens County and Fire District 1, but all the citizens, those directly affected by these fires and those indirectly affected by the fires. And I'm going to say this, that's all of us. We've all been affected by these fires, at least indirectly, if not directly. I want to make three announcements. We are, along with Spokane County, lowering our evacuation footprints. Those will be posted on our Facebook page and the Stevens County Emergency website shortly, probably by 2 o'clock. We're also going to be at 2 o'clock opening Swenson Road from Highway 291 up to Juergens. We're also going to be helping open Highway 291 in the Suncrest area, and I believe somebody will address later on all the way through into the city of Spokane. We know that's been a hardship, but it's been necessary for firefighter safety and public safety. We're now confident that we've alleviated those two issues. One reminder, as you drive those roads, you're going to see fire devastation probably like you've not seen before. Please keep your eyes on the road. We don't need any more tragedies associated with this disaster. Drive cautiously, drive safely. Also, and you'll probably hear this a few times, stay out of the affected neighborhoods. Those people deserve peace. The firefighters deserve time to go through those properties and to make sure everything is safe for those property owners to return. Be kind and be patient with each other. Thank you.
Don't forget to rewind.
Thank you, Chief. I think that's sage advice. I will say that we're going to transition a little bit here, and we have a couple of experts with both real-life experience and medical experience to talk about the hazards that are going to be present in these neighborhoods that were directly impacted by fire. It is important for our citizens to know that even though it may not look dangerous, there are very real hazards if they decide to go into those restricted areas outside of the advice of law enforcement and firefighters. We just had a team from the EPA show up today.
Again, wouldn't surprise me if it was a bunch of nutty commies.
Of mitigating those hazards so we can get our community safely back into those affected areas. So first, I would like to have Denise Everhart from the Red Cross come up and share some experiences she's had in similar types of fires in recent history.
Thank you. Thank you, Sheriff. Thank you,
Joshua.
everybody.
I think I'm getting cancer from the fires.
I've been responding to wildfires in the West. And for 15 years, the safety of people has always been paramount, but the advice has changed. Over time, we've learned that the ash that falls, that the remains in a house, is hazardous to people. And so we really want folks to, first of all, listen to the advice of your emergency managers. Don't go back if they tell you an area is evacuated, for the safety of our first responders and the safety of our citizens. If you are in an area where there has been significant ash fall, you need to protect yourself. Going throughout the communities at the Disaster Assistance Center and more areas to be named, we will be handing out kits. Those kits will have Tyvek suits, N95 masks, eye protection, eye drops, booties to put on your feet so you don't bring the toxic ash back into your car, a tub so that you can put your belongings in the tub and seal it up for later cleaning. These are just some of the steps that we recommend that you follow when going back to your home. After the Palisades fire and the Camp Fire both, we saw people digging with their bare hands in the ash. That ash is full of toxic chemicals. The air We can see how smoky it is here. When you stir up that ash, it's even more dangerous. We're going to include information in all of these kits, and it is vitally important that you take the time, you read the information, and you follow the instructions. We want people to be safe. We don't want long-term effects from this fire. We also have 2 shelters open. You can go to an indoor shelter at the convention center. You can get a shower. You can get a hot meal. You can talk to somebody about your loss and about the tragedy. Or you can go over to the other side of the fairgrounds. We have an outdoor campground where people in RVs, either place, American Red Cross and our partners are there to help you through this, and we have supplies there. If you want to find a shelter, if you need information, call 1-800-RED-CROSS or go to redcross.org. You can find a shelter. You can donate your time. You can donate your money. You can donate your blood if you go to 1-800-RED-CROSS.
How about
really,
semen?
We've been here before in this type of situation, but this is unique. This is a local tragedy, and it's going to be all of those local agencies working together. But number one, I'm going to reiterate it again, follow the advice of your government officials and don't go back in areas where you shouldn't. And please, if you see a Red Cross vehicle or a Red Cross banner, stop in and get a kit. They're free. We don't ask for ID. We will give them to anybody. We just want you to be safe.
Why would you need an ID? This ain't a voting booth.
Now I'd like to have Dr. Frank Velasquez from the Spokane Regional Health District come up and share some information.
Sorry, I'm shorter. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good
thank you for
afternoon.
being here today. Before I start, and I want to talk a little bit about the reopening and also some of the thoughts that we need to have when we go there. But before that, I want to really acknowledge kind of the pain that everybody has gone through, and say that all of those that have been impacted by the fire directly or indirectly, we have in our hearts thoughts and prayers. So as the sheriff mentioned, today's reopening
that's
some
you need
of the
ID for.
evacuation zones is going to be an important
Now are you on
step
live,
forward
Broncos?
for us as a community. We really know how difficult it's been for people to be away from their homes for so long, and we're really happy to hear that some can actually return. I want to emphasize something, though. Being clear to return does not mean that every hazard is gone. You've heard multiple times, be aware of your surroundings. So conditions can be different from one property to another. So my neighbor may be okay, mine may not be that okay. We want all residents as they return to take the time to carefully examine all the environment around them before they proceed. For homes that are standing and have no obvious fire damage, you still have to think about smoke, ash, damaged utilities, and other hazards before settling back in. We all have a truckload of things in our homes, from chemicals, batteries, to plastics, right? And when those burn, they generate fumes. It may look okay, but it may not be okay. Avoid stirring out the ash and dust. Please do not use your lip blower to clean the ash.
I don't use my bottom lip to clean the ash, nor do I stare at it.
Cleaning methods, there's instructions if you go to our website. If you see damaged electrical equipment or gas lines, leave the property and call the appropriate utility or the authorities. Do not try to fix that yourself. For homes that have been burned or have significant fire damage, and we know there's a lot of those, the risks are much greater because you have to think about everything that has burned in the house, around the house. Fire damaged buildings can be unstable structurally, walls, floors, roofs. So just because
I
it
like
may
to
be
actually
standing
hold my
doesn't mean
eyelids
that it's
open
safe.
and stick my
You
face
can
in the
have damaged
ash.
utilities there too.
Really builds up tolerance.
You can have hazardous material and debris in the floor with things that you may not even see that are there. It is important to protect yourself from contact with skin, eyes, and from breathing it in. A lot of damage can happen to your lungs if you bring some of these toxic fumes.
Yeah, cancer.
I encourage you to
That's
prepare
one of
for
them.
what you can return by visiting the SRC website and reading the special section after a wildfire information and resources ahead of time. Don't read it after you've been there. So please do that. The ash and debris can contain materials that are noxious and toxic, such as asbestos, lead, heavy metals, and a myriad of chemicals. Please do not treat fire debris like ordinary dirt or household trash, and do not rush into the cleanup. Take your time. If you're unsure what is safe to handle, get professional help or assistance. There will be a lot of that. If you're cleaning up ash or debris, and I've seen videos about how to clean your windows, and there's information about how to clean your windows and deciding with hoses and power washing, etc. But make sure that as you approach these areas, you're wearing gloves, eye protection, and appropriate clothing. Get one of those kits that is being dispensed for free. Make sure you're totally covered. If your arms are exposed, you may be exposed to chemicals that can cause skin conditions or rashes. So don't think that just because I can't see it, it's not there. Please remember to take care of the basics. As it was mentioned before, food may have been exposed to the heat, the smoke, or even some of the firefighting materials. Do not assume that it's safe. The same goes for private wells. If you have a well, make sure you're following the appropriate guidance before assuming that the water is safe to drink, because you don't know what could have gone in there. Our message today is simple. We're glad you can begin going home, but please go home safely. We want you to go home, or we want you to be safe when you go home. Take your time. Look before you clean. And when you encounter something you're not sure is safe, stop and get help. There's a lot
What
of
up,
help.
neighbor guy?
We will continue to provide public health guidance as residents move from re-entry to recovery. You can find that guidance on our website. I want to end by saying that
see
if
this
you go
big
to our
fire?
website, you will see
This
a
is
long
14
list
miles
of
from me. Just FYI.
issues that you should be aware of, which we don't have time here to go through the whole list. All I can say is fire is destructive, and what it leaves behind can be equally destructive if you don't know how to handle it or how to deal with it. So please stay safe, stay well, and we look forward to the day when everybody can go back home,
This is Oregon.
or at least be back with their families. Thank you.
Let me tell you right now, the water is making the frogs gay. It's not helping anything.
I'd now like to have
all this ash in the water
President
is here to kill you.
CEO of Avista, Heather
China's trying to wipe you out by having chemicals in the water.
Thank you very much. I just want to start by saying our hearts are with the entire community, as has been noted, has been impacted by this. And I want to also just thank the Incident Command,
Oh, the
all
bottom
of the
right.
integrated
I don't know
coordination
where the
that
hell
has
it's
gone
at.
on. We've
Tio just sent me
appreciated
stuff
being
and
part of that
doesn't
to
tell me
ensure
where
that
it's at.
we can help get the power
So
of
I'm
the
gonna
gas
say it's
back on
Michigan, sure.
safely, and to ensure that our employees are safe doing that. And it has been incredible in terms of that coordination.
I thought you meant the one
so I
above
just want
me.
to share that appreciation as well. A couple of updates on the
Right, I
electric
can see
side. We
from
were
space.
able to restore the area that was impacted by the fires as of Friday, so all customers are back on safely there on the electric side. On the natural gas side, we have started some of those restorations in the areas that have been downgraded. With these changes, we'll be able to expand that restoration. Fortunately, again, with that coordination, we've been able to go in, regasify the systems that were turned off, and be able to do multiple leak surveys in those areas to make sure that the system is safe, given the wildfire could cause damage, but everything is safe and ready to be relit in that area. And we have many crews in the area
I feel like
waiting.
relit is
We'll
not
be
a good
sending
phrase
out
to say during a
information
wildfire.
for customers who are in those
Feel
downgraded
it's a little
areas
insensitive.
to be able to call and schedule those relights. We also have, again, we'll have resources in the area just knocking on doors, systematically going through the neighborhoods, neighborhoods multiple times, so you don't need to worry. If you're not there, we'll still be there in the future. You don't need to rush home to make sure that you don't miss us. We will be there again, and you can call or you can just wait for our teams that are going through the neighborhoods on the gas side. We have, given the electric side, the gas side, and then vegetation management, we have hundreds of resources with our employees and with contractors that have come from outside the areas to support. We have mutual aid that I believe is on site now to help with those gas relights, and so we appreciate all of our peers coming together like we always do to support these tragic situations. On the vegetation management side, we have, as you can imagine, there's a lot of trees that have been damaged and are unsafe now around our electrical lines, and so we have many crews that we've called in that have the expertise and the certification to be able to remove vegetation management near our power line, so please do not attempt to do that yourself.
I mean, you could shoot the fire. I don't think you would do anything,
that will
though.
Probably be a longer term presence there with a lot of crews and a lot of work going on for a while there. On the gas side, we do hope ideally in the next couple days we could get customers restored in those downgraded areas. We'll have people on site in the neighborhoods from about 7 a.m. until about 10:30 p.m. Doing those relights, and just appreciate everyone's patience as we work through this. And also another safety note, please don't try to turn your gas on yourselves. We have our teams that are certified from a safety perspective to do that. So thank you again for the patience of all of our customers and just for the incredible work with the coordinating entities.
Thank you, Heather. I will close with this. While I'm sure we are going to have thousands of people who are relieved to get back into their homes, for those people who are still residing inside these level 3 evacuation zones, where it is still very dangerous for them to be in there, they may be wondering, what does that timeline look like? What I will tell you is our firefighting crews, our EPA crews,
throw my guns in the back seat of my
our
truck.
health officials are working every day to get as many of those areas opened up as we can.
Are you trying to pick up said U-Haul?
We will do everything we can to get through these areas and make it safe for habitation as soon as we can. You will likely see changes.
I have a 6-foot bed with a 4-door truck for a reason.
That will be downgraded into level 1 and level 2, or even no evacuation zone status in the coming days and weeks.
Oh dear God, I wish.
I understand the frustration. People have been out of their homes for over a week now. That's a long time. And I know there's a lot of people who aren't sure whether they have a home to come home to,
if I had a basement
whether they
full
know their home
llama,
is
I would
standing,
sell them off
whether
to
they're
pay for
going
the
to be able to
house.
inhabit it anytime soon.
I
We are doing everything we can to get you back in your home as soon and as safe as possible.
Total?
I ask for your grace with us. I ask for your patience with us.
And the government only knows
we really
a 5.
are trying to make sure that you can go home as safely as possible to whatever home looks like now.
That's right,
right? I will say we will communicate openly and frequently about these zones, probably every day into the near future. So with that, we will take any questions.
For the fire by my house, a new shelter just opened.
People potentially moving into these areas, is there any plan for traffic management or control as thousands of people try to get back into these zones?
Yes, we, prior to us announcing these evacuation zones, we have moved our traffic control points back away to where the new fire lines are going to be. And yes, we are taking into account a lot of people moving back in. I know we've had people moving back into those areas because we actually moved those control points an hour or so ago. So we're just trying to have it be as steady as possible without people getting overwhelmed.
How many residents are still under a local 3 evacuation notice?
I don't know that I know the number, but we had over 900 plus homes that were impacted by the fire. So it's frankly a lot of the more densely populated urban areas that are still going to remain that way. But there is the map that you're going to see is essentially the areas that were directly impacted by those fires.
If I could sell a lot of it to pay for the house, I would.
Similarly asking if you knew how many might be back.
Yeah, still more than we would like,
but I don't
sure.
spend a lot of money on them.
We just can't, in good conscience, say it's safe for people to return there.
Do you have any stats of that land area in terms of percentage or acreage? How much of it is
That is true.
We can get that information for you. And most of that area was the areas of 5 Mile and the Indian Trail area where, people assumed that there was a lot of distance between themselves and the fire line, but because of utility issues and the ability of the fire to creep into that area, had the weather event occurred like we were worried about yesterday, so people who are quite a bit away from the affected area, but we're still under level 3. Any other questions?
We saw some signs near the fire lines warning about looting. Have you had any reports of looting? Have you come across anything like that?
Obviously, we've had reports of looting. I am unaware of any arrests for looting specifically or theft, but we have made contacts of people and made sure that if they didn't have a good reason for being in that area, they didn't live in that area, they were escorted out. And again, we did have early on in the first day somebody who was suspected of looting, but no evidence of that, but did have some outstanding warrants for their arrest, and they were actually booked.
Is there any plan in terms of people going back into their houses who might look to do immediate cleaning in terms of safely disposing some of the debris that might be on their property?
Now, I will say, hopefully nobody is immediately returning to their house today to clean up any of that stuff if their house was directly impacted. Those homes are still in level 3 because we do need the EP, number one, for the firefighters to make sure that those hot spots that are in those houses are out, and that the EPA has had the ability to come out and assess those properties for that kind of hazardous material presence. And I will also say, when we do and we are able to safely allow people in for that, there are rules and restrictions about how that debris is removed, and just know that both the city of Spokane County are working together with Washington Emergency Management and the EPA to come up with the process of removal of that, so our citizens will know exactly how to do it and when to do it. These community meetings that are coming up over the next 4 days, that type of information will be there for our citizens.
You guys kind of referred to reaching out to professionals if you need help cleaning up or repairing things. What advice do you have to people to make sure they're not getting scammed by bad actors taking advantage of the city?
So I will say both the city and the county, both of our emergency management departments are going to come up with lists of people who are brought in to remove those safely. There's still scammers out there. Reach out to your government officials who are doing this in conjunction with both state and federal officials to figure out who's doing that and who's not.
You spoke earlier about the predicted wind event. How lucky or how thankful are you that didn't happen as predicted?
I can't express how grateful I was to see not a lot of wind yesterday. I never want to relive last Saturday ever again in my life. And I know, unfortunately, we may have to, but just how grateful we are that things did not get out of control, and it really allowed our firefighters to do a lot of great work establishing even more fire lines around this fire. They got a lot of great work done yesterday. Okay, if there are no other questions, thank you, and thank you for getting this message out to our public again. Updated evacuation maps are up now, and the alerts from Alert Spokane will be going out, but it takes, with all the changes from all the different evacuation zones, should take about an hour to completely get out to our citizens. Thank you.
All right.
That's right,
and
Rodney.
as we've been listening live to Sheriff John Knowles from Spokane County, we have seen the evacuation zones shrink dramatically, especially those level 3 evacuation zones. While the officials were speaking, I was pulling up that map and trying to really zoom in and try to decipher some of those streets. I have a few jotted down. It's a bit of a jig-jag boundary around the level 3 evacuations, but there are those red marks that are on your screen there, and the sheriff described them as the more densely urban areas that were directly affected by the fires. Some of those outlying areas maybe have been a bit more rural. They maybe were areas that the county was more so fearing that the event that came in yesterday, the weather that picked up, was going to pick up these fires and spread them out. So the densely urban areas areas, more in the center of the fires, are still under those level 3 evacuations. And just me jotting down from looking at this map, on the large one that you're seeing, the large mark, that would be the Auburn Lane area. To me, the southern boundary there looks to be West Rudder Parkway, the Little Spokane River, the Spokane River, and then some jig-jagged areas around Sandy Canyon. To the north there, I saw West Mary Lee Lane
Rockers, you might
on
want
the
to put on a sweater
boundary.
then.
All of these were near Lookout Mountain to the boundary to the north, West Hayden Lane to the north, and then to the east, one of the boundaries was North Brannan Lane. All right, now that one section to the west of the Spokane River, there a little bit smaller section to the left-hand side of it. It looks like the western boundary there is Bond, North Katy, West Maybob. Those are some of the western lines where the level 3 evacuations would be to the east. On the south, boundaries include West Autumn Lane, West Pine Bluff. To the east, boundaries include North Red Fir, West Highland, North Oxford. Okay, and then I also was studying
most of it's
the
not
old
contained
trails
and
area.
still burning. The
Now,
one by
that
my
again
house
is
is that too.
concentrated around the West 9 Mile Road and West Rifle Club Road. To the west, Old Trails. To the south, North Indian Bluff. To the north, West Pacific Park. To the east, one of the streets was West Lupus. Those are not all the streets in there, but those were some that I could identify.
Lupus.
And then I wasn't able yet to get over to the Fairview one and identify
most
some
of the fire is
those
not contained.
specific roads. Okay, so talking about
what
like
the
sheriff said. Again, he said the weather on Saturday did not spread the fire or make such a big weather event as they were worried about. So these level 3s are down significantly right now. All right, and Belle Lewis is there at the command post as well. What can you tell us that you're gleaning from this, Belle?
Absolutely. I think the key here, Heidi, is that they want you to get home, but they want you to get home safe. So if you are making your way into those newly level 2 evacuated areas, or what was level 3 evacuations that have now been downgraded, make sure that you're paying attention to the road. You might notice fire damage. And then the other really key important thing I think here is to make sure that you are protecting yourself. There's personal protection equipment for you should you go back into your homes available at the Red Cross donations. They're also going to be driving around in some of these areas that have newly been downgraded to hand out this equipment. So before you start touching materials that might be in your yard or ash that might be on your house, making sure to wear, again, those long sleeves, those long pants, personal protection equipment. And again, those are going to be available at the Red Cross sites.
I'm not going to say who might be looting,
moving into those areas,
if they do, I'm blowing off their kneecaps.
I'm told handing out that equipment, it is free to take. And also, Heidi, I just want to bring up here some of what we're hearing about debris and other demolition. If you are in an area and you're noticing debris in your yard, this isn't a matter of just throwing it into your house trash can. This is a special process that you will need to wait for city instructions. So make sure if you are getting into your home and you are noticing debris, don't immediately start to throw that away. Again, wait for that information and take your time getting back home. Again, make sure you're following the roads, you're keeping your eye on the road despite the fire damage that you might see. And when you do get home, don't attempt to make any changes to property, clean your property without that personal protection equipment.
Luckily away from me.
Yeah, and Belle, if you when we heard from the Red Cross director, she was talking about people in past fires actually digging with their hands.
15 miles from me.
Yeah, Heidi, we did hear that. She said that was something that they experienced with Palisades. And important to note, as she said, and as we heard from Dr. Velasquez with Spokane Regional Health District, that what's contained in that ash can be a mixture of what's found in your home. Everything that you can think of, from batteries to other sorts of equipment and other things that when burned do create this toxic ash. So before, again, you start digging for something, you start trying to find something, even just touching the sides of your house, make sure that you're using that personal protection equipment and follow the Spokane Regional Health District's detailed steps available on their website for how to clean your home instead of taking your hand and wiping the ash in the soot. Take water, take the other methods that they've shown. And again, that's information that's available on Spokane Regional Health District under their Recovering from a Wildfire section. But absolutely, if you are going home and you are looking for something specific, number one, don't disturb the ash. That was the number one thing that we were learning right now. But two, make sure you're not disturbing that ash without personal protection equipment in place, which again is going to be available from the Red Cross. Heidi?
And Belle, you covered this next point a couple days ago. They said if somehow a door or a window got open through all of this, you really have to check out your home. Something might be in there that you aren't expecting.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we had heard stories, and I've covered this as firefighters have been doing their work where wildlife interactions have been happening. But also, it's important to be aware that there could be hidden dangers in your home. If you did leave a door open or a window open in your haste to evacuate, that can blow smoke and other debris particles into your home. So they're saying, again, if you see something, smell something, something does not seem right in your home, it probably isn't. You want to be safe moving back into your property. Again, that's the goal here. That's the direction that's been given, is to do this in a safe
that would be
way.
the biggest
So make
kick
sure
in my
that you
nuts,
are paying
man.
attention to those hidden dangers. And
Like
whether
everything
that's
can be
wildlife or whether
replaced
that's just
except
an
for
abundance
Yuffie
of
and the
soot
cat.
and ash. Take a second, clean out your HVAC filters, and then also be aware that all of these areas do have restored electricity. That's what we're being told by Avista. But don't eat the food in your fridge that has been there for 5 days. That's another caution we're hearing from the Spokane Regional Health District. So even as you start to move back into your homes and move back into your routines, start thinking of potential hidden hazards, including the food that may have gone bad in your fridge. Take a trip to the grocery store, see if you can get help or food assistance before you start fully moving back into your schedule. Heidi?
All right. Thank you so much, Belle. We appreciate you being there, and we appreciate your coverage. I also want to tell the viewers about some of the traffic that will be opening up a little bit more.
I don't have to worry about that.
Sheriff Knowles talk about the control sites on the streets backing up to where the level 3 lines have changed, but also for folks in Stevens County and the Suncrest area, Police Chief Mike Busey also reported that they're going to open up Swenson Road
think there's
up to
rattlesnakes there. It gets too
Jenkins.
cold.
They're opening up the big highway in the Suncrest area. I believe he said that was Highway 291. So traffic will be picking up and going back into those areas. They're asking you to quickly try to get to your house, and there's going to be so much destruction to see that it may slow things down if everybody stops to look at everything. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about this burned ash that the officials were telling us about. They say it's not just dirt ash from burned homes, garages, vehicles, and businesses and industrial facilities. It really could contain some hazardous substances there, like heavy metals, lead, arsenic, mercury, like that. So they really want you to be careful. All right, we're going to disseminate this newly changed evacuation map, and we'll get more about it to you in just a little bit here on The Pulse.
Going back to the fire.
Elevate 468 with numbers.
4121, status check.
Takeoff Jackson 1.
Clear takeoff 32, Skywest 6240.
Back to looking for stuff. Oh, that guy's talking.
I was talking about last night. Remember, fuels are slower to respond. Your 1 hour fuels will respond quickly, but those 10 hours, 100 hours, 1,000 hours, the ones that are still smoldering out there are the ones that are going to be slowest to respond.
And the chaplain for the incident command team also spoke to firefighters tonight, reminding these exhausted teams that the work they're doing matters, especially for local people like him.
As a local, I can point to my house from here, and I really appreciate that, and so does this community, and I hope you've seen that in the outpouring of our appreciation to you. Thank you for leaning into your purpose. When you fulfill your purpose, it gives you value, and when you have value, you're precious. So you're precious to this community.
Yeah, and we know this is extremely rough on the fire crews. We are thanking them for their efforts over the last week on these Spokane area fires.
You're kind of just like leaving your second family behind.
Risk of fire danger in Spokane, causing organizers to cancel Camp Twigs this weekend. It's an annual 3-day camp for children with type 1 diabetes. Now, Stop Local KHQ's Noel Bolter speaking today with staff, participants, and parents about the decision.
I was sad because I really wanted to go.
Lily Campbell likes summer camp.
I like to swim.
But this year, it's canceled.
It's the best part of my summer. It's the best part of my year. I talk about it constantly. And taking away that from the kids, even in this hard time, just absolutely broke my heart.
Camp Sticks and Camp Twigs designed for kids with type 1 diabetes.
It truly is just a summer camp. We just have a lot of extra steps we have to go through.
The supervisor to participant ratio near 2 or greater than 1 to 1.
These are kids that have a chronic illness and have high medical needs.
Lily's dad says she really enjoyed year 1 at camp.
She talked about it for probably a month afterwards.
A father thankful she has a supportive environment.
When you have the community like that, it's like it turns that burden into a shared journey.
Poor air quality, part of the reason directors chose to cancel Camp Twigs, but the decision carries weight for those involved.
The easy part was to decide that it wasn't safe. The hardest part was taking camp away from these kids.
That was a hard one to break to Lily because she was really looking forward to it.
And while Lily is already looking ahead to Big Kids Camp,
she's so excited to be able to do the sleepaway camp.
She's still holding on to memories with friends.
I don't remember her name. I remember that we used to play together.
I'm Noel Bolter, Nonstop Local.
I can't wait to get back in, to be able to find them. Like, I know it's not much, but like just buying a beer and saying thank you, it just means the world to us that, you know, they were able to do that for us.
Well, that is Randy Pettijohn, who says his North Indian Trail neighborhood was mostly saved thanks to
she was a little bit worried about it, but
behind in harm's way to defend properties. He only had their first names and knew some were retired firefighters. He didn't have much else.
She knows that I'm keeping an eye on it, and if we need to go, I'll let her know
Sean Owsley, our Morgan Ashley,
tell her what she needs
on our broadcast to see if anyone may know how to contact these men, who they were.
Keep hitting that like button, folks, if you haven't already done it. Thank you.
Email with a name and a phone number, and today she spoke with them.
We were sitting there overlooking the bluff. We could see the houses starting to
the thumbs up button.
And we kind of started coming up with a soft plan on what we were going to do because we both knew we were going to stay. And we were coming up with a plan on how we were going to attack the fire if it came up the hill.
Scott Butler, retired captain from Spokane Fire, and Jim Richards, retired firefighter paramedic from Spokane County Fire District 9, changed into what clothes they had to best protect themselves during this fire.
I did a wet line, and the flame front
came right there, and as you can see, I dropped the hose, and the wet line held.
And just like that, their technical training came back, but the supplies this time, so much different.
We've never fought so much fire with so little water, ever. Never would have dreamed that I would be doing something like that years ago.
We were in a firefight with one bullet.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
They were joined by 2 other men in the neighborhood, a retired teacher and retired airline pilot, doing their best to lead them on a front line they likely never imagined they would be on.
The fire was coming up through those lighter grasses really fast as the wind was driving it, and we knew we had to kind of keep it down when it hit the trees and the bushes. If we could stop it there, we could save all the houses on that side, because there wouldn't be enough fuel to ignite the houses at that point.
Luckily, every house seemed to have a garden hose, but some of them were destroyed by the heat. And there were moments where the wind shifting meant a completely different outcome.
We told all the guys, get jeans, work boots, gloves, and a hoodie so you can cover your hood. And that's as close to the wildland gear as we could get with just civilian clothes. There was a point where Joe and I had to lay down on that gravel road as the smoke and everything overtook us. We couldn't breathe. There was so much stuff blowing into our eyes and faces. And as we laid down, I had this overwhelming sense of guilt that I was going to get Joe hurt. So that, for me, that was kind of the most human side of it that I felt that whole day, because I thought, these guys trust me and I'm putting them in harm's way to try to help them protect the whole neighborhood. And I was afraid that I was going to get one of them seriously hurt or worse at that point.
Jim and Scott weren't able to save every home on that block, but they did save most. And as for the video Jim took, he wanted his neighbors to know they did everything they could that day.
I knew that the neighbors would never know what happened if they didn't see it. And I wasn't taking the video for myself. I didn't even think about it. I was just thinking, you know what? If it burns down, at least they know why it burnt down. They're going to understand that.
Well, just incredible. Randy plans to meet with them on Sunday. And as for that beer, Jim says he wants a Coors Light as long as it is cold.
Love that. I kind of feel like that's the story that everybody needed to see today.
That's what I wanted to bring. I mean, we wanted to get this connection. And literally, I got an email hours after the story ran.
I appreciate them and willing to talk to us, but I just appreciate their efforts. Obviously, they had tactical training, and they went on the offensive, and it made all the difference. And those stories of courage and selflessness stand out. They rise to the top. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thanks, Morgan.
Thank you for all their hard work.
Yeah, I appreciate all of them. Emergency order coming from the state insurance
no evacuation
today.
for us yet. Just we're
focusing
getting
on
a lot of people from out of town coming in now.
For survivors of the wildfires. The order directing insurers to allow enrollees to get a one-time refill of covered prescriptions before waiting periods between refills expire. Insurers are also being asked to allow a grace period of at least 60 days for health plan payments and to not cancel health plans for non-payment of premiums.
Welcome back. Vista is saying they are continuing to work on the damage in the wake of the Spokane complex fires. They're currently working on repairing damaged poles, wires, and other equipment. Vista also says they are working natural gas and electric systems that were damaged there. There's currently no estimated time for when these repairs, though, will be complete.
SWX Local Sports YouTube channel moves as fast as the game.
106 at 800 North Haskell Street, number 100.
You guys like the little video I made?
Point between Twin Creeks Crossing and Twin Creeks Crossing. Truck 13, priority 1, unconscious, 3360 Alameda Street, Medford, between Blue Blossom Drive and Nadia Way.
God save my ship, man. I mean, I'll be all right if things got really bad. As long as I got gas in the truck, I'm fine.
Leafwood, I see you, Roxy.
I know you guys would.
Leafwood, I see, go ahead.
I just need to keep an eye on it.
Half acre. I'll be releasing 319 here shortly. Contact 1. ground. You guys sitting down? It's a bad one. 2242 is your wheels up time now. Time now is 2121 and 1/2, 2242 Zulu. I can get you out 5 minutes prior to that, sir, so just to let you know, but so be ready about that time. I'll let you know if there's any changes.
I too hope it's not foretelling. Oh, thanks, guys. It's all right.
171.
Again, as long as I have money for gas, that's all I'm really worried about.
Central Mercy 171, you can show us responding code 1 to the fall on North Haskell Street.
If I have to get a hotel, I have points I can use from
tragedy.
Holiday Inn.
This incident should not be remembered by his name, and we will not contribute to any attention, notoriety, or recognition that he may have sought by committing this action.
10 people were shot that day. 7 survived. Police still investigating and say they believe they don't know why he did this, and they're looking for a motive. That remains a mystery tonight. Heavy story that's affected the Idaho area as well.
I can't understand human nature. Why would somebody do this? Look at what they've caused. Look at the disruption.
So President Trump is boarding Air Force One en route to D.C.
I can't figure it out.
They're talking about the shooting. So people thought Trump was in the hospital for some reason. I was like, he's not in the hospital. He's board Air Force One. Looks so realistic. Those look nice and smooth. Where was he? He was Trump National Bedminster. He says, I feel like these weekends are getting shorter and shorter. Another jam-packed week is about to kick off, he says. So he was in the hospital.
Engine 12, priority 1, seizure, Dollar Tree number 100 at 257 East Bar Network number 100, Medford, between South Riverside Avenue and Winkle entrance.
So apparently now for illegal aliens, they're ankle monitoring them.
While those haulers do their task, I'm going to have you guys bump back up and start working in that little drainage where they started off their day.
I'm out at a camp on Crowfoot Road, Milepost 4.
Robert 997, copy. You 180?
180 is responding from Court Street and north of Central Ave to the seizure off East Burnett.
Mercy 180, copy. Responding to the seizure on East Burnett with engine 12.
But that's where aggravated circumstances can come in. If an offender is ultimately convicted, even with a single charge, those could up the sentence. Again, the prosecutor would not talk about Farinacci, but we do know from court records for his alleged offense, the aggravated circumstances for the Old Trails fire come from the multiple victims involved and the destructive and foreseeable impact on so many.
Aggravating circumstances, that really is critical when it comes to
I don't think we ever stopped bombing Iran.
A particular offender be found guilty.
If a court or a jury finds an aggravating circumstance to be present in a case, it permits a court to consider a sentence outside of that standard range.
That process will continue to play out in a courtroom for what could be years. For now, firefighters from all over are still working night and day on these fires. It's an overwhelming job and risk that McCollum knows well.
You know, as a former wildland firefighter, we were always most cautious when we were working fire adjacent to a town, a community, because there's so many more things that are present there that you don't have in the wildland setting. You've got gas lines, you have fuel sources that are not typical, you know, out in the woods. You have sheds that have propane tanks and all kinds of other things that are there. And so that makes this type of fire response different.
We're heading into another Saturday that could be very dangerous. What is your message to your community?
Be vigilant. Be vigilant, and not just for yourself, but for one another.
But for those who have already been met with devastation, specifically for the Old Trails fire, county leaders want to hear from you.
We're working with our county partners to create a public-facing webpage in order to have crime victims and those impacted be able to reflect that information back to us so that, one, we could keep them updated. We'd like to create a subscription list. We want to let them know what's going on with the court case, and we want to provide them an opportunity to have their voice heard.
And that specialized website is still in the creation process, but they do hope to have it up and running for you as early as the beginning of next week. We'll make sure to get you those instructions, how to stay in the know, just as soon as it's all finalized. I'm Haley Gunther, Nonstop Local.
I was on a Woodside division. I had Battalion Chief Pat Walsh and our engine, and it seems like that's all we had for about 2 square blocks of houses that were on fire. And if they weren't on fire, they're going to be any minute, and we just had to keep moving ahead. City of Spokane's a really aggressive fire department. We aren't used to seeing houses burn without doing anything. Instances like this, we had to get ahead of it, stop it.
Wow. A Spokane firefighter recalling what it was like behind the fire line during the day the fires broke out, making difficult choices when it comes to saving homes during a fast-moving fire. Here's a look at evacuation levels right now. No changes since yesterday, and a reminder that Spokane County Sheriff John Knowles has said plan for these to be in place for a while because those conditions within level 3 areas, those are still quite hazardous. So here's an update on the totals for containment. According to Incident Command, fire crews making significant progress. The Autumn Lane fire now 37% contained. Old Trails fire is up slightly. That's at 23% containment right now. And the Fairview fire is at 31% containment. Fire officials say they estimated these 3 fires have burned more than 10,000 acres combined, and about 921 structures have been damaged or lost, but that number could actually go up as well.
Go ahead. I'll be releasing 235, 928. All stand by to move up.
Engine 12 for Mercy, fire can cancel.
C3, C7, E27, E37. Show 235 in service to protection area.
235 in service to protection area at 1431.
Some of those outlying areas maybe have been a bit more rural. They maybe were areas that the county was more so fearing that the event that came in yesterday, the weather that picked up, was going to pick up these fires and spread them out. So the densely urban areas, more in the center of the fires, are still under those level 3 evacuations. And just me jotting down from looking at this map, on the large one that you're seeing, the large mark, that would be the Auburn Lane area. To me, the southern boundary there looks to be West Rudder Parkway, the Little Spokane River, the Spokane River, and then some jig-jagged areas around Sandy Canyon. To the north there, I saw West Mary Lee Lane on the boundary. All of these were near Lookout Mountain to the boundary to the north, West Hayden Lane to the north, and then to the east, one of the boundaries was North Brannon Lane.
A lot more on fire, yeah?
All right, now that one section to the west of the Spokane River, there, a little bit smaller section to the left-hand side of it. It looks like the western boundary there is Bond, North Katy, West Mabob. Those are some of the western lines where the level 3 evacuations would be to the east. On the south, boundaries include West Autumn Lane, West Pine Bluff. To the east, boundaries include North Red Fir, West Highland, North Oxford. Okay, and then I also was studying the Old Trails area. Now that again is concentrated around the West 9 Mile Road and West Rifle Club Road. To the west, Old Trails. To the south, North Indian Bluff. To the north, West Pacific Park. To the east, one of the streets was West Lupus. Those are not all the streets in there, but those were some that I could identify. And then I wasn't able yet to get over to the Fairview one and identify some of those specific roads. Okay. So talking about what the sheriff said, again, he said the weather on Saturday did not make such a big weather event as they
I'm just hoping the wind doesn't shift.
These level 3s are down significantly right now. All right, and Belle Lewis is there at the command post as well. What can you tell us that you're gleaning from this, Belle?
Absolutely. I think
it's tripled though, so
that they want you to get home, but they want you to get home safe. So if you are making your way into those newly
How was your drive?
evacuated areas, or what was level 3 evacuations that have now been downgraded, make sure that you're paying attention to the road. You might notice fire damage. And then the other really key important thing I think here is to make sure that you are protecting yourself. There's personal protection equipment for you should you go back into your homes available at the Red Cross donations. They're also going to be driving around in some of these areas.
I don't know why you cut that off, but all right. Like, yeah, I'll just go to my folks' place in California. Oh, that scared the crap out of me. Yeah, I'd just go south to my folks in the Bay Area. Little closer than all the way across the country. Or Kelly or Bird. Tough choice indeed. No. I just go south. My folks are there, my brothers are there, and my sister. So plenty of places down that way I could go crash at. Idaho? I mean, if I actually know people who are in Idaho too, but yeah, I have homeowners and I have homeowners insurance and fire insurance, yeah. So it's not like, you know, all I would do is videotape everything I have. And again, it's just stuff. Stuff's replaceable. People aren't replaceable. I mean, unless you clone them, but, you know, we're not kind of there yet. Well, yeah, I'm going to take the cat. I'm not going to leave the cat behind. Grab the cat, grab the wife. Grab the bug out bags. Grab a rifle and a pistol at least and head on out. That's the plan. We even got her a nice little cat carrier so I can stick her ass inside and then she could be happy in there. We got food and everything else, and she'll probably be pissy out for the long drive, but it's better than her being on fire. So no, she'll get water and whatever else and stick her in the back seat with the AC. She'll be fine.
Have over the last couple of days because of the smoke, the haze over the top of us from these local wildfires acting like cloud cover and blocking some of that solar radiation and heat on the way in. Take a look at our relative humidity though. Extremely dry still over the next couple of days, down to 14%, maybe even lower than that as we head through this afternoon in Spokane. Wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow as we continue this warm up, we actually
gotta be
see
nice
those
to the
relative
cats.
humidity values down into the
If not, then the
digits.
internet
It is
will make
still
you
bone
pay.
dry and continues to be bone dry in our 7-day forecast. This warming trend continues through about Thursday when we'll hit the peak of it, where highs could climb back to the mid-90s.
I was just called a loser. People are, you're not a loser. I'm like, I'm the biggest loser. Leslie's getting the.
You sure are. I know what you're talking about. You crazy broad.
Skywaggy 94 Yankee ground, hold short of runway 32, contact tower. Hold short of runway 32, contact tower, 94 Yankee.
So half my siblings all own their own houses with multiple bedrooms, so I'm not too worried.
Yankee, holding short of runway 32. Skywagon 3494 Yankee, Medford Tower, would you like a left or right downwind departure on course, sir? Left downwind on course, 94 Yankee.
I get along with most of my family pretty well.
Left downwind departure approved, runway 32, wind 3007, cleared for takeoff. Left downwind 32, clear for takeoff, 94 Yankee.
Now, the better question is, which one has a pool? That's the one I go to. And a hot tub.
Status check. Copy. 419, status check.
Code 4.
But I would save till the last moment because I'll be worried about looters. I might even tell Yuffie, be like, here, take the cat and stuff and some of our stuff and go drive. I'll be there. I'll be there later and make sure no one loots the house.
Go ahead.
And then I hook up a camera to
I copy.
to the rifle, and we have a hell of a stream of looters. All right, everybody, donate and pick a body part.
Repeat that, please. I copy, and they're working up there? It's in the black, correct?
You know,
Just stretch out some lats from that bottom hose lay and get it up to it, please.
I do have enough, like, GoPros. I could put one on my helmet, and one on the rifle, and one on my chest. Then I just IP link them into the router, into the PC. Then if the internet goes out, I just pop open the generator on my cell phone.
3748 Paul William George at Riverside in 12.
So start throwing on some AI made metal, and you know, and the last thing they see is it's just me and the helmet and the vest and the war belt, completely naked. So the last thing they see is my dick before I shoot them. You don't, because you're chat, but you know, the guy does. You just see his horrific, horrified face.
Run some cold water through that pump head. It'll get it cooled down much faster than just letting it sit there. And then I'll be up there as soon as this tender's full with some replacement hose.
Yeah. Could you imagine you see some tweaker? Today on Real Life Morons. Each of the rifles and the shotgun and the pistols all have a number next to them that you could pay to use.
You guys have a good, safe flight, and if you would like to pick up flight following, you can contact Cascade Approach on 124.3. You take care of yourselves. Be safe.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. That's 124.3, and have a good day. 948.
You too, bud. You just made my day.
I feel like the 308 would be the obvious crowd favorite.
Ida Victor.
Or the shotgun.
Yellow, first of Edward, Thomas Valley, 720, 60, 60.
Well, listen, if I'm going out like a champ. See, Walter, that's what you need to do. Give them the obvious, you know, you do this, you're going to die. Good afternoon, RTG. So the last update I have with the fire near me is at 33,000 acres. and it looks like it's going south right now. Again, as long as it goes north. Sorry, it's going east, not south. South is bad. It's going north and east is fine. As long as it go west or south. Southwest is bad. East, north, good.
Copy. We're just going to throw you into the shuttle so you can pull up behind 24 if you didn't get that. Heads up.
Be that. Are we running TAC 4 or 5 for water supply?
6.
Copy.
233 Dearborn's going to be 720, 1960.
Oh man, I could put the shotgun shells all on the desk. You see my hands to pick which one you want. I'm bidding $25 on the double up buck. Then someone comes in here who's a real prick and he's like, "You got any bean bags?" I want him to suffer. Rock salt. Click paint your roof blue. I think my roof's actually already blue. It's like an offish bluish gray. But I think I'll be okay. Somebody was thinking.
35 with 33.
Yep, those damn space lasers. It's actually a Jedi with a lightsaber. That's what it really is. I have bananas and rice, son, honey. Enough bananas and rice not to worry. Because that's all life really is. Pentagon is now giving defense contractors 21 days to come up with ways to drastically accelerate weapons production for Iran. War continues to eat through U.S. stockpiles. I don't fully believe that. Again, I don't think they know. But I think we want more because I think we're starting to selling them off. You know, I wouldn't mind shooting a banana into somebody's head. That would be interesting.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thanks, Morgan.
Thank you for all their hard work.
Yeah, appreciate.
Could you imagine finding a body and the guy's got a banana in his head?
An emergency order coming from the state insurance commissioner today. Commissioner Patty Curter's order focusing on making access easier and more efficient for survivors of the wildfires. The order directing insurers to allow enrollees to get a one-time refill of covered prescriptions before waiting periods.
I'm thinking we probably want to have enough just in case someone gets a little silly.
A grace period of at least 60 days for health plan payments and to not cancel health plans for non-payment of premiums.
Welcome back. Vista is saying they are continuing to work on the damage in the wake of the Spokane complex fires. They're currently working on repairing damaged poles, wires, and other equipment. Vista also says they are working natural gas and electric systems that were damaged there. There's currently no estimated time.
When was the last time any of you went and watched Leon the Professional?
SWX Local Sports YouTube channel moves as fast as the game itself.
I'm here looking for news and talking about stuff, but when was the last time any of you went and watched Leon the Professional? None of you have seen the movie Leon the Professional? Oh, God. It's an older movie. It had like Natalie Portman in it when she was a kid. It's kind of a weird movie. Like, I remember watching it being like, you know, what I watched it shit when I was a kid. And then I went back and watched it and I'd be like, it's kind of weird. Yeah, exactly. You'll never use a houseplant the same way again. So the whole movie is about the whole movie is about a hitman who befriends this like young teenage girl. And and then there's another movie that comes out named Nikita, I think, that comes after it. But I don't know. It was kind of weird when I went back and rewatched it. I'm like, this has some weird undertones that I'm not really digging. Yeah, that's the one, son, honey. Yeah, that's the one. Well, I don't think you want to say it in that movie. She was like 12, which is weird. Don't be weird. What? Not you, Western. Huh. Did you guys know avocado toast has 140 calories more than Nutella on toast? Something to know. If you're into films, there's a requirement to see that movie. Yeah, he was in Ronin also. The actor's good. I forgot who the actor was that was in it. I don't know how old she was in Star Wars. I know she was messing around with an 8-year-old. Mrs. Portman, what are you doing? I wonder who like thought that up, right? Like who thought that up for Star Wars? Hey, he's 8 and you're you're literally an adult, I think, at this point. No, Nutella's fine. It's all right. It's a hazelnut spread. It's nuts and stuff. Ain't that bad. I could argue that some of the avocados people get for the spread is unhealthy too. Yeah, Anakin, no. Well, I mean, it would be her, right? She'd be the one going after him. He was just a kid. Let's see. How old was Natalie? So apparently that's a very thing people look up. So she was 16, and who was an Anakin? And the kid who played Anakin, I heard, like, didn't get dick all for money. He was 9! She was 16, he was 9! But in episode 2, he was 19. Okay, hold on. How old was Padme in episode 2? What? Padme was 24. Yeah, Bonanza ain't looking too good, buddy. You're on the other side of me. We're taking a break to talk about movies, so we're not all depressed. Let's see. Hell's Bonanza? Is Bonanza over here? Unless I'm mistaken, and I'm off on my organ areas. I could be wrong where I'm at. I remember seeing it earlier when I was looking around. Let's go see Bonanza. I think I'm right where it's at. Yeah, he's got some really good barbecue there. Where is Bonanza? Tell me on the map. Pretty sure I know where it's at, but. Oh, yeah. No, I got. Hello there, neighbor. You're not too far from me. Over yonder, right? Over here, somewhere. Yeah. There's dairy, so you're like right. You can't see my mouse, but you're this area. But that's the right spring fire we have to worry about. Freaking making everything all smoky out here and hard to breathe. But at least it's a little bit cooler today than it was yesterday and the day before. Small victories. As you're joining us now, we were talking about movies because the news is just going over the same stuff. And then we're seeing some of the fires that are starting in real time over there in Medford.
Hit those heavy politicals and then continue with that grid if you think you can still hit that 200, 300 foot mark with just your crew. Thank you.
Do the best I can for you.
But do you think people are going to go back and watch movies we all used to watch and be like, this is some weird shit? Like, what's a movie that you would watch all the time that you don't think would hold up very well right now? Not would hold up really well. Like Ghostbusters holds up great. Back to the Future holds up great.
Foreground, unfortunately, there isn't any earlier time, sir. No problem, sir. My pleasure.
I don't think I ever saw Person of Interest. Blazing Saddles holds up amazing. I showed Yuffie that the other day. She thought it was great.
216 last up, Adam Sam, Charlie Edward. Charlie Ida Ocean Nora, first of Jose Space Luis, 63073. And if you could check local hospitals. John Zebra, hello, you're in Stewart.
I can happily say I've never watched Brokeback Mountain, so I'll take your word for it. It doesn't hold up well these days.
$235. That vehicle I ran. Can you scan and see if we have priors with the RO? Try to locate a phone number.
Yeah, I don't know if American History X will hold up very well these days. I think Antifa would start feeling for, Edward Norton's character.
214.
3.
Traffic for 235. 235.
People versus Larry Flint. Or the one with, what's his name that was in it? What the hell was his name? He's one of the actors that you wouldn't expect it, but he's a weird vegan.
14 April.
is now open, as well as South Swenson Road to Highway 395. Level 3 evacuations are still in place for the footprint of the Autumn Lane fire there. Now, fires burning in the Spokane area have already forced more than 60,000 people from their homes, and an outpouring from our friends across eastern Washington is coming in as donations are being brought in from the Tri-Cities. Smile a Mile Painting in Kennewick gathered up clothes, pillows, and hygiene essentials, things like that for Spokane victims. That trailer just arrived at Calvary Church at their family center, and organizers are speaking on what this means for the victims.
When one person creates momentum,
Oh, yeah, Woody Harrelson.
and then
That's
just a
him.
band of people in the community that come back and support that, whether it's a Facebook share or just word out of being able to give a little bit, that actually makes a big impact.
Yeah, definitely. $1, $5. I mean, bring a Walmart bag down here. All of it counts. You may have a size of shoes that someone's looking for that might not be here that could really change what they need at the moment. So,
yeah, Calvary Spokane is also handing out ready-to-eat box
Dee Snider did his own
donated
movie?
by the
Oh.
World Central Kitchen. Just one of the
Was
many
he a good
examples
actor?
of donations and community support in the midst of these very difficult times. Okay, and we
I only
have a
know him from
reminder
Twisted
here of the
Sister. I don't know what
resources
else he would.
available
I
to
know he was
you
an
as
actor.
Spokane continues to recover. Shadle Park Resource Center was supposed to close today, but after seeing such a continued and large demand, the city and county are extending operations through Wednesday. The center will be open from 9 to 6 each day, connecting families with housing and clothing assistance, insurance providers,
I live in the city, and
childcare,
that fire is
other
getting really close to
resources.
it. So,
Free emergency drop-in camps for children
Wow,
are also
I live
being
near that
extended
city.
at Shadle Park High School through Wednesday. And Spokane Public Schools says the camps are open to children ages 4 and older. They run from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. each day, and your child will be fed lunch. Now, partners include Project Camp, YMCA of the Inland Northwest, Skyhawks, and the City of Spokane Parks and Recreation. Well, as the sheriff said, there was a big sigh of relief when yesterday did not bring those huge winds. So what are conditions looking like outside right now, Rosemary?
yes, Heidi, we had that red flag warning in place yesterday. Well, we did see some new fires pop up in Whitman County. You heard it from Sheriff Knowles, rather, that things were a little bit kinder for those of us in Spokane County. Still tracking several dozen fires.
It's freaking terrible.
Across our community, both the
It's giving me a
Spokane
freaking
area
sore throat all
complex
day.
fires, now the Palouse River fire and the
I got some
Wells
voice
fire down
acting
in
to do
Whitman
after this,
County,
so.
that Kaiser Canyon fire burning near Nispelum, and then in Ellensburg area, the 3 Queens fires. None of those yet reaching full containment. So I want to show you what we face in terms of fire danger today. As we're getting past 3 p.m. here, we've got temperatures holding strong in the mid-80s, both in Spokane as well as in Malden too, down onto the Palouse, and 86 degrees through central Washington, mid to upper 80s too as we check in with our friends there in Colville Reservation area. As for relative humidity, quite dry out there, and with that does come some dry fuels. 18%.
What am I doing right now? I'm just going to go do some
We're not expecting that level to come out
auditions.
of the danger zone and into that 30+%
I kind of
range
play it too
until
safe because
overnight
everything I
tonight,
usually
maybe
audition
even
for, I
into those
get.
early morning hours tomorrow. As for wind gusts, quite calm. Not even
But I'm part of a
registering wind gusts
project
in
that
Spokane and Whitman counties right now.
did one
A little bit
season already,
breezier
I've been.
along the Cascades. We've got some areas shaded in yellow, popping up above that 10-mile-per-hour mark. 10-mile-per-hour wind gusts in Lewiston.
I don't want to
as well
dox
as
myself,
in
but
Colville, too.
but it is IMBD thing,
As we
so
get you through the rest of
which
the
is
day
cool.
here. Still not through the hottest time of the day. Upper 80s are expected peak around
I think I've
dinner
gotten
time tonight for the
22,
city of
23 voice
Spokane.
acting
That's
parts
also said to be the
in 1 year,
breeziest
which
time
is
of
pretty
the day
good.
and the driest time of the day too. So not
About
what we
1/8 of
want
a
to
mile
see
of
as we get
visibility.
through
Yeah,
the
that's a
next
good way of
few hours
looking
here,
at
but
it.
we're in the heart of fire season.
All I know is the
Dry,
shit's choking out my
breezy,
lungs.
Warm conditions are something that we're
It was pretty
going to
bad this morning,
continue to
too.
face in the coming weeks here, tonight included. Also looking for quiet skies tonight, and of course all of this is coming as we're still tracking air quality concerns from the several fires burning in our immediate vicinity right now. With this, we've got this large patch of
If
unhealthy
you
air
shoot me an
quality for
email,
that
I will shoot you
northern
one of the
half
things.
of the region for the southern half.
I've done some anime stuff, and I've done some commercials now I'm in.
So when we check
all
in
kinds
with
of
you
stuff.
during our 4 p.m. pulse forecast, we'll take a close look at
It sucks that I didn't get to go to the woods because it's supposed to make a freaking commercial for trappers
and how we're
with the new
expecting all of
308
the
I got.
smoke to move overnight. Heidi.
All right, thank you so much, Rosemary.
Hey,
And
welcome
just
to
quickly,
my
again, going over
Trapper
the
Outdoors
breaking
commercial.
news, Sheriff
Currently
John
on
Knowles
fire.
has greatly reduced the evacuation zones
Not-
for the Spokane complex fires.
It's a YouTube
the
thing.
Road
It's an anime
checkpoints, the
YouTube
control
thing.
points
I
have
wish I was in popular
moved
ones. That'd be badass.
Closer to where the level 3
I'm not there
zones
yet.
remain,
Even
and
though I
those
was listening to
really
one the other day, where I'm
are
like,
in the
God
more
damn, the voice acting
densely,
sucks. This is
concentrated
terrible.
urban areas that were impacted by these fires. So some of the more rural areas that extended out, or areas that they thought might be impacted by a big wind event on Saturday, those areas have been downgraded. People are going back in, and there are a lot of health concerns to be wary of if you are going to be dealing
No,
with
not
the
fan-made. They're
ash
original
on your
series.
properties. We'll continue to follow that for you now.
It's an original series that's like, did they jump away?
The area is down to that level 1.
I thought she was
be
leaving, my
aware
bad.
Evacuation
My mistake.
zone. All right, we'll continue our coverage.
No, they're not
for you.
fan-made. It's, they have their own artists. They come up with their own stories. The channel has like 500,000 subscribers. Much bigger than my channel. Again, it's more like a manga, and then they're trying to get them animated right now. So, but I mean, at least it's cool. At least it's something. Oh, you bastard computer! I want to be in something bigger. That would be great. But it's all it's all very like touch and go-y shit, right? So you got to kind of build up your resume and then yada, yada, yada. I mean, it's very competitive, right? So I will go on, let's say, it's a little bit more than that, right, in Dirty Llama, but you got the right idea. Did I do anything shameful? No, sorry. I know how to record well and make myself sound good. That's all I did. I go out there, I do auditions, and then I get the part or I don't. And some days I'll knock out like 5 or 6 auditions. There's one I left though. There was a project I was working on where the person running it was a freaking weirdo. Like, that's the best way I could put it. She was like this entitled person who was also kind of an alcoholic who, and I don't know. I was doing some voice lines and she started opening about some weird shit and I'm like, nope, I'm out. No thanks, not doing this. Is that even isekai genre? Let me think. Did I do any of this in isekai? Negative. I don't think I did. Oh God, no. Jeez, that'd be gross. No thanks. I mean, like, here's the bad thing. Here's the bad thing. Is because these are all like drama kids, there's nothing but drama behind it, right? and there's like bullshit behind it too. So, like one of them, I don't know what the hell is going on, but I have a second account, right? So I have a second everything for my voice acting stuff because my real name and everything else. But I'm here reading, and like there is weird shit that pops up, and one of them is like, if anybody ever worked with me or this group, please DM me so I can explain what happened and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, what in the hell kind of drama is going on here? Like, so I don't really like hang out with anybody in this stuff. And, yeah, I'm just like, oh crap. Like, I'm not getting involved in any of these people because that's nothing but drama. It's nothing but just like
Still has concerns about the fuels out there.
Nothing but crap
fuels
coming
are
up.
Still very dry.
I'm just like I'm not. I do my parts. I go on my day. I'll mingle with people.
Like I was talking about last night. Remember, fuels are slower to respond. Your 1 hour fuels will respond quickly, but those 10 hours, 100 hours, 1,000 hours, the ones that are still smoldering
Western.
out there are the ones that are going to be slow.
Anyways, if you want to know the stuff I did, you guys can email me.
And the chaplain for the incident command team also spoke to firefighters tonight.
Unless I don't trust you, I'm not saying nothing.
Teams that the work they're doing matters, especially
yeah,
for local
RTG.
people like him.
By the way, speaking of issues, let's fill up that bar tonight if we can. Appreciate y'all. I haven't chuckle-hounded
I
and
can point to my house from here.
hours.
And I really appreciate that, and so does this community. And I hope you've seen that in the outpouring of our appreciation to you. Thank you for leaning into your purpose. When you fulfill your purpose, it gives you value. And when you have value, you're precious. So you're precious to this community.
Yeah, I'll take stuff on
This
X.
is
That's fine.
extremely rough on the fire crews. We are thanking them for their efforts over the last week on these Spokane area fires.
You're kind of just like leaving your second family behind.
The risk of fire danger in Spokane causing organizers to cancel Camp Twigs this weekend. It's an annual 3-day camp for children with type 1 diabetes. Now, Top Local KHQ's Noel Bolter speaking today with staff,
Poor
participants, and
diabetes
parents
kids.
about the decision.
I was sad because I really wanted to go.
Lily Campbell likes summer camp,
I like to swim.
but this year it's canceled.
It's the best part of my summer. It's the best part of my year. I talk about it constantly. And taking away that from the kids, even in this hard time, just absolutely broke my heart.
Camp Sticks and Camp Twigs designed for kids with type 1 diabetes.
It truly is just a summer camp. We just have a lot of extra steps we have to go through.
The supervisor to participant ratio near 2 or greater than 1 to 1.
These are kids that have a chronic illness and have high medical needs.
Lily's dad says she really enjoyed year 1 at camp.
She talked about it for probably a month afterwards.
A father thankful she has a supportive environment.
When you have the community like that, it's like it turns that burden into a shared journey.
I don't know who Gypsy Rose is, so I can't. I don't get it. Sorry.
But the decision carries weight for those involved.
The easy part was to decide that it wasn't safe. The hardest part was taking camp away from these kids.
That was a hard one to break to Lily because she was really looking forward to it.
And while Lily is already
It's not like they only got,
you know, kids camp,
she's so
a few years to live.
she's still holding on to memories with friends.
I don't remember her name. I remember that we used to play together.
I'm Noel Bolter, Nonstop Local.
They could have done something else for the kids.
Find them. Like, I know it's not much, but like just buying a beer and saying thank you.
You can't buy the kids a
it
beer.
It means the world to us that they were able to do that for us.
Well, that is Randy Pettijohn, who says his North Indian Trail neighborhood was mostly saved thanks to several men who stayed behind in harm's way to defend properties. He only had their first names and knew some were retired firefighters. He didn't have much else.
Never mind. I knew who Gypsy Rose is now. Yuffie explained it to me.
I'm Sean Owsley. Our Morgan Ashley put a call out on our broadcast to see if anyone may know how to contact these men, who they were. Within hours, she received an email with a name and a phone number, and today she spoke with them.
We were sitting there overlooking
working the bluff, we could see the houses start to torch off. And we kind of started coming up with a soft plan on what we were going to do, because we both knew we were going to stay. And we were coming up with a plan on how we were going to attack the fire if it came up the hill.
Scott Butler, retired captain from Spokane Fire, and Jim Richards, retired firefighter paramedic from Spokane County Fire District 9, changed into what clothes they had to best protect themselves during this fire.
I did a wet line, and the flame front came right there, and as you can see, I dropped the hose and the wet line held.
And just like that, their technical training came back, but the supplies this time so much different.
We've never fought so much fire with so little water, ever. Never would have dreamed that I would be doing something like that years ago.
We were in a firefight with one bullet.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
They were joined by 2 other men, and
I didn't want to do it, but my asshole friend started going, so I had to go help him.
To lead them on a front line they likely never imagined they would be on.
The fire was coming up through those lighter grasses really fast as the wind was driving it, and we knew we had to kind of keep it down when it hit the trees and the bushes. If we could stop it there, we could save all the houses on that side, because there wouldn't be enough fuel to ignite the houses at that point.
Luckily, every house seemed to have a garden hose, but some of them were destroyed by the heat. And there were moments where the wind shifting meant a completely different outcome.
We told all the guys, get jeans, work boots, gloves, and a hoodie so you can cover your hood. And that's as close to the wildland gear as we could get with just civilian clothes. And there was a point where Joe and I had to lay down on that gravel road as the smoke and everything overtook us. We couldn't breathe. There was so much stuff blowing into our eyes and faces. And as we laid down, I had this overwhelming sense of guilt that I was going to get Joe hurt. So that, for me, that was kind of the most human side of it that I felt that whole day, because I thought, these guys trust me, and I'm putting them in harm's way to try to help them protect the whole neighborhood. And I was afraid that I was going to get one of them seriously hurt or worse at that point.
Jim and Scott weren't able to save every home.
I'm not a fan of being in fire, so
And as for the video,
I'd rather not do any of them.
Wanted his neighbors to know they did everything they could that day.
I knew that the neighbors would never know what happened if they didn't see it. And I wasn't taking the video for myself. I didn't even think about it. I was just thinking, you know what? If it burns down, at least they know why it burnt down. They're going to understand that.
Well, just incredible. Randy plans to meet with them on Sunday. And as for that beer, Jim says he wants a Coors Light as long as it is cold.
Love that. I kind of feel like that's the story that everybody needed to see today.
That's what I wanted
story
to
I wanted to see is
and
more about the damn fires.
Connection. And literally, I got an email hours after the story ran.
I appreciate them and willing to talk to us, but I just appreciate their efforts. Obviously, they had tactical training, and they went on the offensive, and it made all the difference. And those stories of courage and selflessness stand out. They rise to the top. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thanks, Morgan.
Thank you for all their hard work.
Yeah, I appreciate all of them. Well, an emergency order coming from the State Insurance Commissioner today. Commissioner Patty Curter's order focusing on making access easier and more efficient for survivors of the wildfires. The order directing
I went to school to be on the Band-Aid bus. That was my whole thing.
Refill of covered prescriptions.
And then I had to help teach the damn firefighters who are going through the same classes.
Insurers also being asked to allow a grace period of at least 60 days.
Because a lot of you know how to run a hose, but trying to tap a vein, holy shit.
Welcome back. Vista is saying they are continuing to work on the damage in the wake of the Spokane complex fires. They're currently working on repairing damaged poles, wires, and other equipment. Vista also says they are working natural gas and electric systems that were damaged.
Now wait for them to show me the fire too.
No estimated time for when these repairs, though, will be complete.
SWX Local Sports YouTube channel.
Going out, and that's the other reason too. Like I noticed, is like a lot of them were scared to get poked. They're like, "No, man, I don't want to be hit with a needle. Like you gotta learn to tap a vein. What are you doing? No, man. Oh God. Yeah, rolling veins are no fun. Or blown out ones too, where you got like You know, you start looking like someone who's a drug addict or even a diabetic. You start finding veins are hard to find. You start like, time to go up. I always like the idea of just shoving in the side of their neck. I know where a really good one is. Come here. With a syringe? And also, we had the old butterfly needles too. Like, the new ones are nice. It's got a flex needle on it that you can pop back, and it leaves a tube inside the vein. So you have a sharp needle out there poking shit, and you don't have to chase a needle behind it. Yeah, that's no good, llama. That's very bad. That just happened to you? I'm trying to look for some of the actual fires. Let's just go Spokane. Let's do that. Again, my whole thing was I went through the schooling and then I had the decision of either work on the Band-Aid bus or go touring with bands and do that type of stuff. I chose the band stuff, and then I fortunately never looked back. Part of me thinks I should have, but you know, nothing I can do about it now. Yeah, 30 minutes is close enough. I mean, here's the thing, like, I don't mind helping people, but I didn't want to clean up old people all day.
Has now expanded to 15 states. Health officials are urging people to take precautions when eating lettuce, as well as some types of fruits and vegetables. More than 6,000 cases have been linked to this specific outbreak, with
Just
nearly
like in the Bay Area, your bread and butter is cleaning up old people.
2 people have died, according to the
and
CDC.
that's a very noble thing, but that's not for me.
Psoriasis is a gastrointestinal infection caused by the parasite that can cause explosive diarrhea for weeks if left untreated. The outbreak has been linked to shredded iceberg lettuce from Taylor Farms to Mexico. Health officials are recommending people avoid bagged lettuce and pay attention to recalls and alerts. In North Idaho, a 36-year-old Spokane man is dead today after drowning at City Beach in Coeur d'Alene today. Police responded to a report at around 1:15 about a man in distress who had been underwater for a long period of time. When officers arrived, the man had been removed from the water and a citizen was performing CPR. Medical personnel contributed to this efforts for 30 minutes, but the victim was pronounced dead at the scene. Coeur d'Alene police are investigating these circumstances around the incident.
Well, the Spokane Indians fans had plenty to celebrate at tonight's game against the Eugene Emeralds as members from the California
that's fantastic. I don't care.
Comment on this specific case. What he can do is try to give the community some insight and some background to try to help us all better understand where we are now. I know you can't talk about this specific case, but I do think there are questions out there in general that if somebody is accused and charged with an arson and the damage really is extensive, is it still just one count if there are multiple homes or businesses damaged?
So this is a question we get a lot, and not just for arson. There are certain crimes under our state law that we have what is called a single unit of prosecution. And to a lot of, the average person, it makes no sense. But what that means is for arson, the crime is the lighting of the fire, right, in a knowing and malicious manner. And so the lighting of the fire, regardless of the consequences of it, is subject to a single unit of prosecution, and that's not something that I can alter. That's a creature of state law. So the way the legislature designed this charge, it's that single unit of prosecution. There's a variety of different cases on this. We have a Supreme Court case that says essentially that, right? That you can have multiple homes, vehicles burnt, multiple impacted victims, but it's still that single unit of prosecution.
But that's where aggravated circumstances can come in. If an offender is ultimately convicted, even with a single charge, those could up the sentence. Again, the prosecutor would not talk about Farinacci, but we do know from court records
I did not. What's going on with that trial?
The aggravated circumstances for the Old Trails fire come from the multiple victims involved and the destructive and foreseeable impact on so many. Aggravating circumstances, that really is critical when it comes to sentencing should a particular offender be found guilty.
If a court or a jury finds an aggravating circumstance to be present in a case, it permits a court to consider a sentence outside of that standard range.
That process will continue to play out in a courtroom for what could be years. For now, firefighters from all over are still working night and day on these fires. It's an overwhelming job and risk that McCollum knows well.
You know, as a former wildland firefighter, we were always most cautious when we were working fire adjacent to a town, a community, because there's so many more things that are present there that you don't have in the wildland setting. You've got gas lines, you have fuel sources that are not typical, you know, out in the woods. You have sheds that have propane tanks and all kinds of other things that are there. And so that makes this type of fire response different.
We're heading into another Saturday that could be very dangerous. What is your message to your community?
Be vigilant. Be vigilant, and not just for yourself, but for one another.
But for those who have already been met with devastation, specifically for the Old Trails fire, county leaders want to hear from you.
We're working with our county partners to create a public-facing webpage in order to have crime victims and those impacted be able to reflect that information back to us so that, one, we could keep them updated. We'd like to create a subscription list. We want to let them know what's going on with the court case, and we want to provide them an opportunity to have their voice heard.
And that specialized website is still in the creation process, but they do hope to have it up and running for you as early as the beginning of next week. We'll make sure to get you those instructions, how to stay in the know, just as soon as it's all finalized. I'm Haley Gunther, Nonstop Local.
I was on a Woodside division. I had Battalion Chief Pat Walsh and our engine, and it seems like that's all we had for about 2 square blocks of houses that were on fire. And if they weren't on fire, they're going to be any minute, and we just had to keep moving ahead. City of Spokane's a really aggressive fire department. We aren't used to seeing houses burn without doing anything. Instances like this, we had to get ahead of it, stop it.
Well, a Spokane firefighter recalling what it was like behind the fire line during the day the fires broke out, making difficult choices when it comes to saving homes during a fast-moving fire. Here's a look at evacuation levels right now. No changes since yesterday, and a reminder that Spokane County Sheriff John Knowles has said plan for these to be in place for a while because those conditions within level 3 areas, those are still quite hazardous. So here's an update on the totals for containment. According to Incident Command, fire crews making significant progress. The Autumn Lane fire now 37% contained. Old Trails fire is up slightly. That's at 23% containment right now. And the Fairview fire is at 31% containment. Fire officials say they estimated these 3 fires have burned more than 10,000 acres combined, and about 921 structures have been damaged or lost, but that number could actually
I might head out soon. I don't know. Seems like all the news is kind of the same right now for the Sunday. Let's see if we can get some donations going, and then I'll see if I can stay or not.
Content connecting community. You're watching The Pulse.
Yeah, I'm Heidi Miley on this live update.
That's right. I'm being shekel-hounded bastard.
News on the Spokane complex of fires, with the sheriff greatly reducing the evacuation zones. Here's a listen now to what we brought you live just a short time ago.
Because our weather event that came in yesterday did not cause the spread of the fire in a way we were very concerned that it was going to, that as of right now, we are reducing the size of our level 3 evacuation zones significantly.
All right, and you did hear there from Spokane County Sheriff John Knowles that evacuation levels have been reduced to level 1 for much of Spokane, including along Indian Trail, 9 Mile Falls, Peone Road, and the areas you see in green here on your map. And Stevens County Fire also is announcing reduced evacuation levels in South Stevens County. Jiggins Road is now open, as well as South Swenson Road to Highway 395. Level 3 evacuations are still in place for the footprint of the Autumn Lane fire there. Now, fires burning in the Spokane area have already forced more than 60,000 people from their homes, and an outpouring from our friends across eastern Washington is coming in as donations are being brought in from the Tri-Cities. Smile a Mile Painting in Kennewick gathered up clothes, pillows, and hygiene essentials, things like that, for Spokane victims. That trailer just arrived at Calvary Church at their family center, and organizers are speaking on what this means for the victims.
When one person creates momentum and wants to help out, and then just the band of people in the community that come back and support that, whether it's a Facebook share or just word out of being able to give a little bit, that actually makes a big impact.
Yeah, definitely. $1, $5. I mean, bring a Walmart bag down here. All of it counts. You may have a size of shoes that someone's looking for that might not be here, that could really change what they need at the moment. So,
yeah, Calvary Spokane is also handing out ready-to-eat boxed lunches donated by the World Central Kitchen. Just one of the many examples of donations and community support in the midst of these very difficult times. Okay, and we have a reminder here of the resources available to you as Spokane continues to recover. Shadle Park Resource Center was supposed to close today, but after seeing such a continued and large demand, the city and county are extending operations through Wednesday. The center will be open from 9 to 6 each day, connecting families with housing and clothing assistance, insurance providers, child care, and other resources. Free emergency drop-in camps for children are also being extended at Shadle Park High School through Wednesday. And Spokane Public Schools says the camps are open to children ages 4 and older. They run from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Well, the flock cameras were a bad idea to start with, so I'm happy there's no more of them.
Lunch. Now, partners include Project Camp, YMCA of the Inland Northwest, Skyhawks, and the City of Spokane Parks and Recreation. Well, as the sheriff said, there was a big sigh of relief when yesterday did not bring those huge winds. So what are conditions looking like outside right now, Rosemary?
Yes, Heidi, we had that red flag warning in place yesterday. Well, we did see some new fires pop up in Whitman County. You heard it from Sheriff Knowles, that things were a little bit kinder for those of us in Spokane County. Still tracking several dozen fires, though, across our community, both the Spokane area complex of fires, now the Palouse River fire and the Wells fire down in Whitman County, that Kaiser Canyon fire burning near Nispelum, and then in Ellensburg area, the 3 Queens fires. None of those yet reaching full containment, so I want to show you what we face in terms of
there you go. I heard they were using the stock women.
Past 3 p.m. here, we've got temperatures holding strong in the mid-80s, both in Spokane as well as in Malden, too, down into the Palouse, and 86 degrees through central Washington, mid to upper 80s, too, as we check in with our friends there in Colville Reservation area. As for relative humidity, quite dry out there, and with that does come some dry fuels. 18% relative humidity right now in Spokane. We're not expecting that level to come out of the danger zone and into that 30+% range until overnight tonight, maybe even into those early morning hours tomorrow. As for wind gusts, quite calm, not even registering wind gusts in Spokane and Whitman counties right now. A little bit breezier along the Cascades. We've got some areas shaded in yellow popping up above that 10-mile-per-hour mark, 10-mile-per-hour wind gusts in Lewiston as well as in Colville, too. What are we expecting as we get you through the rest of the day here? Still not
I
the
don't know.
hottest time of the day. Upper 80s are expected peak around dinner time tonight for the city of Spokane. That's also
All right,
said to
folks,
be the
I'm going to
breeziest
call
time
it
of the day
for
and
now.
the
I might be back
driest
later.
time of the day too. So, not what we want to see as we get through the next few hours.
So you have it going, everybody. I am out of here for tonight. If you guys could donate, that'd be great. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, buy me a coffee would be wonderful so I can keep paying bills. And, as long as my house doesn't burn down, everything should be groovy. And you have a very good, wonderful rest of your day if I don't see you. And I'm going to try to maybe be back later. We will see. You guys want to know about my voice acting stuff? Email me or send me a message on X.
How cute. Cold steel under moonlight, fangs cut the snow. We run as the pack, where the brave.
If I don't see you, you guys have a good Monday.